有请双方对阵战队。首先欢迎微博 Gaming Tap Tap， 上单 Breeze， 打野天，中单小虎，下路 Light， 辅助 Chris。欢迎北京 JDG eSports， 上单小徐，打野勋，中单 Scout， 下路 Hate， 辅助卓。LPL 第3赛段常规赛组内赛第7周第3日的第1场比赛 ，WBG Tap Tap 对阵北京 JDG 即将开始。LPL 无畏进巅峰。
Hello folks, just me today at the minute, just figuring out what's going on with a couple things of background with YouTube, so do give me a moment and I'll be right with you properly. Alright folks, well we got drafted on in here. Do apologise on Nivea's channel at the minute, it's saying for some reason it's a Mere Masters. It's not a Mere Masters, it's the LPL. It's the LPL. Alex is at LEC meetings today, so it'll just be me. Still a little under the weather, so do forgive me. But yes, I know in Nivea's chat, it's not KCB versus Zero Tenacity. For some reason, we have it as the wrong thing. Should get resolved shortly. So do apologise, it'll get sorted out soon. Quite sure why that one's happened. Sometimes life be doing life things. Hello YouTube as well. Give me but a moment while I go get myself a tissue, because I've got a runny nose. Pantheon into Rumble. Trundle's banned, so probably just the Wukong here. Fine. I think that does mean it's Talia up. Talia's up. Weibo's going to pick up Talia here. You just give it over Pantheon Talia? Okay. Well, they didn't go. They did get the Tillier. They've got an Aurora as well to throw that top side. Galio locked in on the other as well to try and match the globals at least, but I'm honestly much preferring what we're seeing. Much preferring what we're seeing from Weibo right now. Some good AoE from JDG, don't get me wrong, the circles are good. Wukong and Galio enable each other very well. We can follow that up with an equalizer. Feel fine about that. Not too much else here, though. At the minute, the Lucian gets locked in. That will be a brawl angle now for Jot. Try and deal with a fair number of these divers. We're looking at bot lane now for Weibo Gaming. Corky Rel might be the angle, and it is. Can join the engagers and the divers quite well with that combo. It's all locked in now at the very least. So, for Weibo Gaming, double global plus that Aurora carry top side. Your mid-game spike is really nasty, very dangerous AoEs, and that double global from the mid-jungle is going to be a problem. On the other side for JDG, it's a bit more defensive. You've got tools to potentially punish that engage from the globals with the Galio, with the Wukong. Braum also good in that variety. Got your own global and the Galio. In another game, that would be a great draft, and in some ways it is, but I just think with the level of strength you're giving over that Pantheon Taliyah in particular, JDG need to prove that they are capable of managing that being let through. Up that volume, shall we, and get ourselves ready for a bit of in-game action. Let the gyros run. I'm grabbing my coffee, and I'll see you in-game. What did I miss? Any violence? Doesn't look like. Ugh. Double check and see what's going on. Have we got our YouTube thing resolved? We have fabulous news. Shall shoot. Getting chunked out a little low. Jun has managed to find his way onto enemy Krugs here on respawn. Hasn't led to too much though. Tien trades out well. Looking to head into the enemy jungle here and probably get a ward down. Maybe look at those wolves. It'd be a little deep, but with the lane swaps coming through, you have got an opportunity for this, or maybe a dive, actually. Xiaoshu gonna get mounted up on. It's a lot of damage flashed away, but Tien is coming. He's got a full suite of abilities to work with. Across the veil, Mortal Steel. Tien is not gonna need to flash. Nice dive from Weibo. JDG, a bit of a chunk topside, but that's about that. Lane's back to matching here. Not really meaning all that much, has to be said. Hey, Derek. What website do you guys stream from? We get a clean feed is the answer. Though there is an optional Huya feed as well. That's also kind of like the backup, Derek. But there's a clean feed being sent from the stadiums out in China. Give a chunk there onto pace. Doesn't really mean all that much, has to be said. Xiaohu pulls away, having done a little bit of damage. Drink pilk, do crime, and get hydrated. Yeah, I can do that. He ends up sliding across the unraveled earth there, takes a bit of damage. Been a relatively slow early game, it has to be said. Dragon, though, being started by JDG. Weibo coming to contest. Don't know how much JDG are going to want this. Chris gets slowed down by the Electro Harpoons, but tanky enough to back away. JDG still managed to get the dragon regardless. Didn't want to overplay it by the looks of it. So give that one up quite happily. Kind of came on over and then decided, not sure about it. But they had the numbers to try and make something happen there, but didn't really have it in the end. Line of wards currently from JDG. Down that blue side to red side vertical. Which I had a phrase that we've gone with. It's not the chicken skin either. Light's going towards a spaceship. Also, hello, Solar Puppy. Good to see you. Grand Starfall, first of the game. Goes towards Xiaoshu. The equalizer clears out the way, but doesn't tag Xiaohu really in the slightest. Stun into knockback, and Pantheon Talia does Pantheon Talia things. Xiaohu should be able to pick up this turret plating pretty happily. Gonna stick around for it? I think he is. Oh, he'd love to. Does have 3 grubs, so it's theoretically doable. Has to be a bit afraid here. Xiaoshu's got flash. Yeah, he greeted for the plate, couldn't get it. Has to reset awkwardly. Little bit much. Jungle is so weird right now. Either you get first dragon and you're down a level and a bunch of gold, or vice versa. Yeah, it does feel like early objectives in particular, as valuable as they are, unless you're giga ahead of the curve, do cost you about a quadrant's worth of clear. This Pantheon now being 2-0 with Sundered Sky very early on is going to be a problem. Tien is very capable of taking over a game from this point of view. Thank you very much for the reset, by the way, JG Scout is best. 10 months sub, damn. Almost a year. Still a couple minutes until Rift House. It really is just a fight over Scuttle Crab currently. Light, heal on Crisp. Gets him to safety. Chunks, still kind of nasty though. A little bit awkward there from Breed. It does keep Scout potentially interested. Can't hit the weirding angle as the Phase rush from Scout keeps him away. This is a Hollow Radiance game for sure from Breathe. Double AP solo lanes. Decent chunk on a crisp, but it's just crashing down far enough away to not get hit by that full concussive blows passive. Lucian is going to be in a lot of danger. Pace is low. Just about surviving. The Grand Starfall means Pace tries to trade his way out of that with glory, but ends up dying. Good angle from Crisp, and the follow-up from Tien as well is there. Just as the dragon spawns as well, and the AD carry is dead. Beautiful stuff. Come JDG, they might want to try and play this. Unraveled Earth, Equalizer, Dragon secure, but they are on top of the Equalizer. Tien now potentially in danger, does have the flash, yet to blow it. And they stick around and retreat in good order. Got a bit dicey there with the Cyclone and the Hero's Entrance available, but they can't quite close the distance, can JDG. Right now, 1-0-1. It's about 20 CS here in this lane as well, damn. .3-0, 2k up, 3 grubs. Looking pretty good for Weibo Gaming, a little bit dicey for JDG. Did wonder whether that Pantheon into this comp with the Talia could prove a bit dangerous, and it has been so far. The 5v5 should be easier for JDG. Got some very good tools to play around at this point in the game, but this fight around the Herald needs to work. Things get very dicey, I fear. Vision control not great right now for JDG. On a potential flank angle. That's a big Cyclone potential. Chris goes looking for the Shattering Strike to deny it. Shouldn't just sidesteps it. Shield Vault in. Shun low. In comes the Equalizer, but there's the Age of Assault Bikes. Time Tien is still very low though. Takes Cien out of the way. Shun does go down. Hero's Entrance comes on in. That's a little early from Xiao, who had trapped between his own wall and a hard place. They've gone way too deep. Should be able to bring down Scout and get it. Breathe goes across the veil, drawn with a very well-timed wall. But Xiaoshu now gets to unleash his Flame Spitter. It's a bit of an ugly fight from Weibo Gaming. But they still end up 3 for 2. Sorry, 3 for 3. Forgotten Tien went down at the start of that. Great door there at the end from Zhou. Stopped both bot laners dying. The problem is they have to reset. Whereas Light and Breathe are both very healthy. I'll have a look at this again. So initially they go trying to jump onto Shun. Get a decent amount of damage. And the Equalizer comes on down as the knockback comes on through. And Tien manages to just blast Shun and tries to get out here, but can't quite survive the flash after. It looks pretty good at this point. But then Xiaohu mistimes his ult. with the Weavers, with the Hero's Entrance coming on, gets trapped between the wall and Xiaoshu, does an insane amount of damage. Scout ends up dying, but then basically they go try to look for FaZe and George. Don't respect what Xiaoshu can do. Does eventually end up falling there. Can't get away with the FaZe rush. Still, much needed gold for JDG. Particularly to that Rumble, who could be a real terror. And somehow Lucian is now ahead in gold. I'm assuming a Cull cash in. Maybe a shutdown or two. Seismic shove. Into the crash down. That's a lot of CC. Good taunt from Scout, but there's a redemption. And Chris survives. Scout, oh my days, actually survives as well. Oh, Xiaohu, you got to be able to put your threaded volley a little bit better angle than that. Well, Herald secured there by Shun. The cost of 2 turrets. FaZe now endangered. Weaver's wall. Heals there. Flashes out to safety, but it means Jaws in a deadly spot and dies for it. FaZe gets out with the use of his flash. The support certainly does not. Weaver's wall, Grand Star, full combo. Leads to the Dragon being started again. Didn't get the AD carry this time. Still support will do more than fine here. A little early on that smite TM. Twofold Hex, weirding. Clears the wave in short order. Weibo here, not had the easiest split, it has to be said. Not as tumultuous as JDG's, for sure. Certainly with its fair share of fumbles. Light has not been very consistent in particular. Xiaohu not being the greatest of carries, even I think his individual players largely been fine. Tien and Breathe, I think, largely probably our best performing members on Weibo, for better and worse. On the other side for JDG, the coordination issues rear their heads time and time again. Weaver's wall is in time to interrupt the Herald charge. And they get no value from that at all. I hate to say it, Scout in particular, across this split, has been really quite poor. You'll get a game of series where he looks like the Scout of old, and the other two where you wonder what the hell he's doing. Xiaoshu's been fine. FaZe a little disconnected from the team. We've heard a lot of stories about how Scout has to translate for FaZe mid-team fights all the time. Been really problematic, whereas I like to see a bit of a gank pot side. Speaking of Scout, shield vault, unraveled earth, still got a seismic shove to come, you have to imagine, and nowhere for Scout to go. However, there is an Atakan, and you've got a Rumble. Wukong and Lucian, you can do a fair amount of damage to this fairly damn quickly. TP in. Grand Starfall not available from TN, can go between worlds and look to blow people up, but I think this Atakan is likely going to be JDG's. They pull off it. The Pantheon's not even there. Oh, Shun gets in and just steals it away. Why, Weibo? What was the thought process? You've got no smite there. Just let it reset. TN's coming. He's going across vision, though. So they do give up the Atakan in trade for 2, basically. They get the turret topside as well. I really don't think you needed to do that. So Breed gets a nasty between worlds when people have all got their resist shredded. And they're going flash for the weirding. Oh, just doesn't catch the back two members. Nearly. Then they go, right, we can try to burn this down. Shun doesn't have cooldowns. And then Shun flash Nimble Strike in. Is not CC'd in time. And nabs away the Atakan. Necessary from Shun. I don't think it necessarily changed the game state all that much. But hey, you take the wins where you can get them, and those petals and experience that they will give you. Very important in the game where you were beginning to bleed resources and map control. Because Shun even with Tien, for example. Scout's now ahead of Xiaohu. Clearing out some waves currently. Guess this game only matters if these teams feel like there's a difference between Ultra Prime and LGD. Yeah, I mean, like that potentially does matter, right? In that sense, like if JDG tie with Weibo, can potentially affect the standings there. Weibo winning cleanly matters in terms of a bit of selection. But you're right, it is effectively a choice between LGD and Ultra Prime that they have, and I don't think either team is particularly scary. I don't know whether the sides of brackets would matter. Need to look at the playoffs bracket a little bit more. See if there's any nuance in terms of who your opponents in stage 2 might be, so to speak. Pace just picks up his third item. Got the LDR. And they go with the Between Worlds. Weaver's Wall. Jura has gotten a lot of value out of this door this game. A lot of value out of this door. Pays, though, still in danger as Tien goes on forwards. Culling comes on up, but Tien is sped very fast there. Gets to run away just fine. Hayes down about half HP. In they go, trying to find an angle onto Shun with the hero's entrance, but it's going to lead Crisp out to dry, actually. Not bad. Good angle from Shun. Gets Xiaoshu an opportunity to get a good equalizer down, and they do end up with the kill advantage there. That's pretty good going. Of course, it costs every ultimate that JDG have available aside from Glacial Fissure. Weibo in a similar position. Kind of just didn't have the damage, honestly. Again, you know, you have still got a 3-item Lucian. You have still got a Rumble and a Wukong with a couple items themselves. Shun, yes, he's not had the easiest game so far, but you can get on top of people with that pair of items. You've got your second rank of ultimate as well. You really will hurt. Crisp in particular with this redemption build. Squishy as all hell. No locket to keep you safe. Soul in 3 minutes. Might be the next port of call. Worth noting, of course, Pays down his cleanse. Very vulnerable to that Pantheon Talia combo now. With the spell, we'll switch out the ones he's missing. We'll have the flash back up at least. He's on Pays. Breathe looking for a flank angle to go across the veil here. In goes the Magnet Storm. Breathe looking for the Between Worlds, and Pays, the twofold Hex, is dead as TM flashes forwards. Hits him in the skull with a Comet Spear. JDG over this wall, looking to try and punish here a little. We've got a minute until that dragon. Probably is our next port of call. Interesting that Light's gone Collector third. Guess it's just to try and pop this Lucian, but I don't know about that. Most amount of armor, but still, I think a bit of a weird option. Xiaoshu gets blasted by the weirding. Breathe goes golden. Means a lot of damage. Xiaoshu down low. Doesn't have the teleport to rejoin. In comes that Weaver's wall. Xiaoshu forced to flash the other direction. Now not here. The equalizer back is solid, forcing Light to retreat. And Crisp ends up too deep. They don't secure the kills. Shot into the backside on top of Tien. Knocked up. Each assault buys some time, but now Light in danger. Gets over the wall with the Valkyrie. Breathe blows up Shun. Tien trying to get some value on the backside to Paisu. Let's get the slide away, but they lose Xiaoshu. Now Scout is deep. And they thought they found the angle to JDG. This still comes at the cost of their whole top side of the map. Hayes' cleanse comes off cooldown just about in time. Still has to retreat away. Ocean Soul now looking like Weibo Gaming's. Unless there is some madness happening around this. There's no smite available for steals, and so Light will be tasked with soloing this out, preventing someone like Pace from getting involved, but across the veil. Between Worlds comes on down. Weirding will force Pace to retreat with his health bar in tatters. Starts with Breathe going between worlds. Only really catches Pace and Xiaoshu, but it's good. The problem is they can't actually finish Xiaoshu, who gets to run away. And that will be important a little later, because Xiaoshu still gets a big, mean equalizer off. Because then they look to punish a bit more. And they kind of split targets a bit. Trying to go to the Scout is still pretty damn tanky. Crisp gets a Mangle Sword to the backside, but dies doing it. Basically because the equalizer forces Xiaohu, Light, and Tien to back away. Tien buys a fair amount of time. Will eventually go down here, but not before Breathe manages to pick off Shun on the side, who's still got all of his health bar to work with. Breathe with a really nice angle onto Xiaoshu, and Scout can't find the Justice Punch to interrupt the Bunny Rabbit. Fourth item is done for Pace. Ocean Soul, gonna be quite annoying this game, I think, when you've got people like Aurora and Pantheon. Chris might end up being your easiest target a lot of these games again, because he is just very squishy, no real armor. Improved Merc Tread to the Celestial opposition. No resists to be seen, really. Crisp on a ward right now. Scuttle Crab will spot it out. Couple wards here from JDG. After that, Scuttle Crab went down. Well timed to avoid them getting spotted. Still trying to make sure they have a way to get over towards this Baron. Scout on an attempted flank angle can join with the hero's entrance. Ward taken down. Two-man Baron beginning. Farsight alteration will spot it out. Down to 10k. Sure, hit with that shattering strike. Has a door to put that one up. Breathe across the veil, looking for an angle, but Jaw trying to get onto Crisp. There's the Redemption Grand Star full turnaround. It's deep from Tien. Where's the rest of Weibo? He's got a GA. Hero's entrance comes on through. Jaw burnt out to Corky. The collector value in the end works out well. I think JDG weren't expecting that turnaround. Scout just about surviving. Weaver's Wall splits the team across. Xiao to the backside, trying to get with Shaw. And Xiaoshu goes golden. They bring down that Rumble as well. Weibo with a clean team fight for once. They out a lot of the cooldowns. GA's work wonders. Don't even need to burn them. Now they can look at Baron two-man while the rest of the squad pushes up through mid. Knocked a couple down. Come back to... This is honestly almost a great angle from Jor. And then they turn around here and you're thinking, well, that's really deep from TN. He's kind of gone around alone. And Scout ends up trading with Breathe to keep him busy. And Hero's entrance is away from it, but it's too late to keep Jor alive. And Scout ends up getting blasted. The equalizer is solid enough, right? It's not really turning anything around. Breathe still got between worlds, gets half of it. And Xiaohu trades out with Xiaoshu. Not Jor, as I said in the cast there. Oops. All Dom's now done for light as well, so all the armor pen in the world. Towards the tier 3s, we now cast our eyes. Xiaoshu with a ward deep in the lane here. Could look for a teleport angle. It might be that kind of Hail Mary play, honestly. Jor being down at half HP does kind of suck, though. Inhibitor 1 down. Shun on a flank angle. Hero's entrance up and available. Can he catch out Light? They don't know he's there. Light. Good control wards required. Weeds wall to top side to go pick up that wave. Shun down low! By which I mean 6 feet under. Breathe gets in, finds the weirding. Now the inhibitor turrets. All the stand between Weibo and a game 1 victory. It's gotten late. Scout flashing for a taunt. Does get Crisp. Might get Xiaohu as well, but not quite the burn. Will secure it. Not bad from Xiaoshu, but it's already cost Shun. Already cost Xiaoshu. Still waiting on that Wukong respawn, but unfortunately, Light still gets to deliver a valiant last-ditch effort at the Nexus turrets. But in the end, you are still going out in a blaze of glory, but out you must go. Weibo Gaming win game 1. Drop that volume down a little, shall we? And hello. I bet... Oh, we do have the camera on. Wonderful. Hello, folks. Initialise here. Still a bit under the weather. I have to apologise. Doing my best to remain functional here regardless. We'll be doing a bit of a solo cast today because Alex got LEC meetings. So I'll do my very best to bring you all the action where and when I can. Where I want to say this starts. Doing my best to be alive and kicking. Breathe getting a fair amount of the votes. Did have some good ults there on the Aurora. Struggled a bit. I think it might be TN for me, honestly. Though Breathe is a decent shout. It's a very good late game fights. Yeah, let me do the spiel. Hi, I'm Initialise. We're on Nymaera's channel doing an LPL co-stream. We're relying on all of you back home to keep us in the loop. Doorbell's just rung, so give me a second while I go get that. Not quite sure what it is. It appears my mother is using mine and Alex's flats to get orders of European clothes so we can take them back when we come out next. I was like, what is this? Hey, it's clothes she's ordered for my dad. That's hilarious. Wonderful. I don't think the Wukong was that bad this game, but I think the problem was it was supposed to be defensive play, and I just don't think JDG really knew how they wanted to play tight fights. They looked very discoordinated. They never really threatened the backline very well. I think Pays and Duo did a fairly good defensive job. The amount of times that Pays was nearly killed. Took a lot of efforts to kill him multiple times, but we never really saw a good counter-punch on a regular basis from JDG. And eventually just proved too much. I think Xiaoshu also decent work on the Rumble, but Scout and Pays, I don't know. Didn't really get that much done, did they? This was a bit of a muchness, wasn't it, in the end? Sorry, I'm a little bit unwell here. Still figuring out. Still got more games to go. Guessing you were a JDG fan, X-Leon. Sorry about that one. Have I missed the redeem? Hello, Duo. Compliment for Duo. Yeah, I can do that. And I had missed the redeem. I do apologize. Compliment for Duo. Thank you for your unfailing cheeriness. Very cheery person, Duo, in chat. It's very nice to see. I appreciate the spark of brightness you give wherever you go. How did flirting with the German girl go? Saw that was in chat the other day. Did you succeed? Came to chat to ask for flirting advice. It was very funny. Did you succeed? I'm pretty sure that was you, wasn't it, Joe? Let's have a look at this again, shall we? Oh, the feed! No! Give it a second. It's gonna freeze like this for a moment. When the audio comes back, we'll know it's coming back. There we go, audio. That's the audio stutter. Wait for it. Come back. We're gonna have to do some weird things to get game feeds. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, chat. Audio. There it is. Hey, okay. It is going to be Breathe on the Aurora. Did have a very good Aurora game in the end. She's a bit weird, Lamar. Don't send her this. Weird can be good if it's the right kind of weird. Ugh. Pass me back, not doing a game. That's true. Let me do the remainder of the spiel, by the way. If you have not yet, please do like, follow, subscribe on the Twitch, YouTube, and Anivia's YouTube, which is there. We are live in all different locations. One for bot, a lot for top. I'm surprised none for TN, who I thought had a pretty good Pantheon game on the whole. Early game will work because there's some very good ultimates. But if you've not done that, please do consider doing so. Please also follow us on socials. That's at InitializeCast, at Nymaera. You'll find us there. I'm Initialized with an S, not a Z, because I am British. Number 2, we have a way to support us in Ko-fi. If you've not used the Ko-fi link and don't want to subscribe on Twitch, you can use the Ko-fi link, and that's a great way to support us as well. If you're a Twitch Prime user, remember, you get a free sub every month anyway. So please consider dropping it here. JDG Scout is best did that, in fact, about 50 minutes ago. Thank you again for that. For the rest of you as well, Ko-fi, if you're not a particular Twitch user and still want to support us, you can still use the Ko-fi link to come and support us. Number 3, we have got, if you check down here, a new platform that we are a part of called League Mastery, which involves coaching and advice videos, basically on champions, on climbing, on League in general. That is a really cool platform with some amazing content creators getting involved. Hedon, LEC coach, is the one heading that up and got us involved. Where me and Alex will be providing you with casting courses if you want to learn how to be a better caster and what Riot's looking for in casts and stuff as well. Looking at self-evaluation and all those kinds of things, which are really cool. Play-by-play and colour will both be doing some of that. So it should be a really cool option in the middle of making those videos. If you use our link, you do in fact get yourself even more value. So please do consider doing that. In fact, there we go. Ooh, what the heck happened there? Oh, Al's got a caps lock thing there. Wow, that's annoying. Boom. Found it. Let me pin that. There you go. Yes, pin that for a bit. And let me share that over in Anivia's chat and the YouTube chat. Wow, that's just not me. That's super weird. I don't want to be in Heroes. Oh, that's actually really annoying. Okay. Wow, that's actually really annoying. Why is it flicking up the... There we go. I can't get this across. I need to run some ads as well while I get the chance. Go refill my coffee. Hello again. Good to see you. Constantine. We run those ads. I'm going to turn the camera off while I go get myself some coffee. We'll be right back. Orders coffee for Amber. Hey, Amber. Good to see you. Well, we're back. Here for draft. Glad to have you all in here. Let me get rid of that league mastery code because it's blocking our champions. There we go. So, Gwen, Poppy, Trundle off the board. If I was Ari, I would charm you. Very sweet. Where are we at this point? So, Trundle's off the board. JDG, blue side. Scion down. Interesting, it becomes the first pick. Basically saying, Breathe, I don't think you're going to play that much into it, which is, I don't know if that's entirely fair, but I don't think in general Wave have always been the best at the front backs at the minute. Just feel like it's their weakest area. Much better when Tiano and Xiao get to be creative and finding angles. Sivir, Alistair. So it's just front to back for JDG, straight up. Varus, Annie, Renata. Pick. An early lane prior now for Weibo Gaming. That bot lane in particular is nasty. Very, very dominant. You can only spell shield so much, and you can't spell shield autos. Early on as well, the Alistair, level 1. Awful time. I think if you're especially going for the on-hit variant, which you might well do into the Scion, the bailout to give you more attack speed and an extra life to keep throwing out more stuff feels very, very obnoxious. Orianna away from Scout. It's a good cowball combo game. More zone control. Yeah, I think it'll probably make some sense. One of the most oppressive laners. Jarvan down. Play like Jachi yesterday, yeah. That'd be the way to do it, wouldn't it? And a wonderful game. Shun Belveth incoming. I appreciate your unwavering dedication to seeing Belveth back in meta. Victor, another one of those big AP control mages. Probably the two largest ones remaining. Rise, I suppose, now may probably becomes a scout option, I suspect. Could, I suppose, look at something a bit spicier like an Akali. You've got an Alistair and a Scion to go diving with, especially if you lock in something fun in the jungle. Not necessarily a guarantee, but you know. Xin Zhao for Tien. Fine, yeah. Don't have the Wukong. How many did Shun have map 1? Not very many, I don't think, I'm afraid. He played very well. It was a bit of a passage, unfortunately. Had one or two good flank moments, but JDG just found themselves on the back foot most of the game. But yeah, my suggestion is go back in the VODs to find out. There's not really, they don't really do post-game scoreboards at the minute, which is very annoying. If you'll have to scrub back in the VOD, I'm afraid. LPL post-match stats are cool, but do lack some basic info. Going towards the Skarner. So you've got Scion, Skarner, double beefy frontline. Reminder when Top Esports lost their game yesterday to FPX. When the Varus popped off, it was into this double front line. And I feel like the Varus could end up being really annoying, that they don't have the best front line themselves. The Yorick should beat the Scion in lane. Got that split push option. And your pick is very nasty for Weibo Gaming. Spiking at the 1 item, that early skirmish is very, very strong. If JDG get to 2-3 items and get to front to back, play fight slow, life is great. There is a world where on-hit Varus ends up munching through the front line a bit, and it ends up a bit awkward there. But you are quite reliant on Silas getting to a point where he's an actual threat, and Pays being untouched. Because you've gone triple front line for Sivir, basically. And Silas is a weird one in damage, because it does feel like a Silas that gets behind the game, goes in, trades his life for a little bit of HP, but has to run away and never do any damage. Like, your ability to do damage is predicated on having enough HP and AP to just sort of bruise your way through stuff. I think on the whole, I prefer the Weibo draft. More early agency. Some good winning lanes. But it's not like JDG's comp without merit. See whether they can get to the point where they can use it. We head on to the Rift for game number 2 of the day. Well, early lane. Understandably, Light and Crisp have control of it. Double ranged into Alistair as your support. Yeah, you are going to lose the early lane. Heal has to be popped by Jaw as the hail of arrows comes on down. Actually tags both of them, which is a bit annoying. No easy way to ricochet the wave and deal with it. So, Crash will be coming on through. Handshake onto Jaw. Ooh, ow. Still caught that level 1. A healing pot and a biscuit to work with. Might be enough to keep himself safe. Light ends up taking a couple extra minion autos for dragging aggro, but is largely alright. Breathe with the early shove, managed to dodge the decimating smash, gets a last auto off, very nice from him. Now looking topside, actually. Try and drive into Breathe here. Take a lot of damage, actually. Does have the flash. Flash is very late. Doesn't even get a flash off of Shun or Xiaoxu. Bit unfortunate there. Hits by the decimating smash, just part charge. A well-aimed boulder from Shun. Hey, enjoying. Good to see you. Chasing arrow tags again. Yeesh. Bot lane is not a lot of fun, but we were expecting that. TN's now turning up top side, looking to return the favor. Breathe, figured out. There's the flash as the Dark Procession came on down. So we'll earn at least a little something back. Xiaohu gonna end up being traded on pretty aggressively here. It's got a couple of healing pots and a phase rush. Would love to stick around for this cannon. Oh, TN's actually around. Hang on, Scout can flash for this. Oh, he's got to give up the cannon. That's actually really annoying for Xiaohu. Wanted to stick around and queue. The cannon couldn't. Ended up dropping that bit of farm. Good reset timing from Scout. Good abuse after the teleport coming on through. Xiao does at least get the Inu boots, which is obviously a lot of cooldown reduction before level 6 as well. So it means he'll get that full value when he uses the early tibbers. Good sidestepping. Scout can't find the angle he's looking for, and Xiaohu's managed to land a good Incinerate Disintegrate combo with a couple autos woven on in. Gaming taking the opportunity with Silas Chunk to start up this dragon nice and early. TN empowered by that bailout, given a lot of room to claim that just fine. Lane swap coming on through. Dragon secured. So lane swapping up towards that top side of the map are Weibo Gaming, looking to match the Sivir and the Alistair. And with Grub spawning shortly as well, I can see the thought process. Berserker Greaves and Cole completed for the Varus. About 10 to 15 CS here as well. See where things shape up when Varus picks up this wave that's crashing. What? 7 of minions crashing on in. Lose 1 to the attrition. Good chunk. Tier now looking mid. Shun's also around though, but there's a level 6 discrepancy here. Crescent guard for Crescent guard. Hijacked away, trying to buy some time. Flash on forwards, gets the stun, and the kill is secured by Tien. Scout can't get out safely even with a rapid hijack on the Crescent guards. Shun not at the level 6 there. Really wishing he'd gotten an extra camp at that point. Tien, having taken the early dragon, still ends up being a significant amount ahead of Shun. I wonder if that's off that early gank topside. Scar not the fastest clearer of all time, but that's still a fairly significant discrepancy. Hey, Aristophicase, good to see you. It's going well. There's the stun from Tien. Onto Tien. Does manage to get back and get the red buff, and now they're very deep. Shun comes on over, can look for an impale. I think Tien is likely going to die here, but remember, he's got the bailout to work with. Doesn't need it quite yet, may well still die. Finally gets impaled. Bailout will secure, he probably dies. Can't quite get the kill back onto Shun to ensure that his life is saved. Instead ends up being a 2-for-1 in the jungle in favor of Weibo Gaming. That is not a very good invade. Have a look about this one, because they try to get on top of this. Scouts really here, and actually Kanavi, it's the Skarner issue. Shun gets interrupted on his way by Xiaohu coming on over. Tien just manages to run a ring around the rosies. Nearly even survives Shun here. Gets a lot of healing back from the red buff and from his own autos. Finally brought low by the Impale. Man, a second or two might have gotten him the reset. Back towards Grubs we look. Tien should be able to knock away some of those grubs just fine. Engaged there on a crisp. Flash away. I think he's just dead here. He tried bailing himself out and does so. Hostile takeover solid enough. Will likely die before a fair amount of time. Pays. Still got a lot of health on with Shun flashing away. Trying to stay alive but can't. Now Xiaohu coming on over. Good spell shield timing. And a blast cone keeps Pays alive. But the problem is they lose 2 again. Frontline melting under the force of Weibo Gaming's damage right now. Scout has hijacked Chains of Corruption. Pays getting into this lane. But Tien is so fed right now on this Xin Zhao. And we saw the issue. If your tanks start falling behind the kind of on-hit damage of this Xin Zhao or this Varus, you can end up just not being tanky, relatively speaking. Don't get to your armor break points. Get blown up. Especially as Siva's nowhere near online. Xiaoshu ults. Get into the river first. Weibo Game might be willing to give up that dragon, I think. They are looking over here. Zhou's got a really good Hex Flash angle. Headbutt Polv on 2. Can't really do much more. Chains of Corruption comes on through Tien. Now in the river, looking for potential Crescent Guard angle. Sure. Forced to back away. Does have the Unbreakable Will to work with Xiao, who can look to stun someone out. Xiao, she can't get the full decimating smashes. Tien is impaled. Got a bailout, though. Crescent Guard buys a lot of time. Backline onto Pays. It's now going to go down to the bailout. Should just die and does. But again, trades his life so dearly. Breathe, gives some last rides to Scout. And the Maiden ensures the double. Light gets blasted by Xiaoshu. Quite sure how he ended up dying there. I'm assuming a decimating smash angle. Ends up being a 2 for 3. But now Xiaoshu's very deep, forced to flash away from the Dark Procession. An extra summoner burned. Dragon stays up. How did Light end up in a 1v1 with Xiaoshu at the back end of that? Because it looked like, I think it was a fully charged decimating smash into Soul Furnace kill. So the headbutt pole comes across the wall. They kind of spot him out with the sweeper, so back away from it. So it means the full trap isn't properly sprung. And Tien gets in the back line. She was already left at about 20% HP. It's not exactly fun. Tien, very aggressive with his front lining. I thought he was a dead man. Exhausted. Gets the Crescent Guard off. Gets to jump onto Pace. And buys so much time. And then Light tries to come and join on over with Piercing Arrow. It's just the bush is blind and Light walks into it. Oh, you idiot! You sure Xiaoshu was in there? You knew he was there! Goes to put a ward down, ends up face planting a Scion. Probably means they can't do the dragon afterwards, actually. That's an unfortunate kill to give over. Doesn't change it being a win for Weibo, but stops it being the out-and-out win that it could have been. He come back to dragon now, though. Should be able to pick up this dragon and feat to strength with it. Xin Zhao from ahead is incredibly impressive because he has so much sustain, so much mobility, so much safety, a lot of burst, knock-up. Like, he does pretty much everything you could ask of in a skirmishing jungler. Doesn't scale anywhere near as poorly as he wants it. I actually just think Xin is probably... Like, if you're just looking at a good AD skirmish, just pick Xin Zhao. There's very little reason not to pick him, it often feels like. Very few comps you won't find value from him in. Xiao tries to sidestep well, can't quite, needs to start running away. The stolen Tibbers does a lot of damage onto Xiao. Rower completion and Scout doing that usual trade before the back thing. To teleport on Xiao, I think. Might still be just on cooldown here, actually. So Malignant secured. They will speed their way back towards this lane, but actually it'll be Breathe on this Yorick sent down here. And the Annie sent top side to secure that. 12 seconds on Herald. Makes some sense, right? You want the Annie where the team fight is, and the Yorick diametrically opposed to play towards turret shoving. Have got 2 grubs on a Yorick with Trinity Force. Turrets will not survive a very long amount of time. Ghost on Crisp, turret secured. Herald being started and taken by JDG. Weibo Gaming kind of happy just to keep JDG honest. Can't force an easy reset back to mid. Can't force an easy response to Breathe, who gets the wave shoved all the way up to tier 2. That Weibo might look to reset down here. They get a lot of damage onto this turret. Breathe. They get a fair chunk put down onto him. Kind of gets trapped under this turret, even with the Dark Procession. He's going to eat a lot of damage here. Gets a Redemption put down on top of him. The Maiden now taking turret aggro. Breathe, not your cleanest moment. Dark Procession will keep the Maiden alive. Still gets 2/3 of that turret's HP bar, though, so probably worth, but could have been slightly better executed. Xiao summons Tibbers on top of Shun. Turret topside being run at. I think Shun should be able to clear out that wave and does so. Impale, Flash, shut down very happily there. Does keep the turret down. Outside, Xiaoshu caught inside the Dark Procession. Tien's around, and I think Xiaoshu needs to be a bit wary here. Remember, doesn't have the ult. Comes Lightning Land, so Tien takes the opportunity to step on force 3 Talon Strike, flash away from the Morning Mist, because that likely would have been Xiaoshu's death. The Armor Shred alone. Scout gets that tier 1 TP behind. Could look to hijack something here. Down comes Joe and pays. Xiao can look to respond in about 9 seconds. Scout with the stolen Crescent Guard. A lot of value there onto Tien, who's got a bailout. Buys a lot of time. Still yet to go down. Hostile takeover. Oh, this business ain't folding just yet. Flash from Crisp. Forced the flash out of pace. Piercing arrow. He's got a heal. Should be able to get out to safety. It was looking so good. Scout thought he had a wonderful flank angle. And then Tien just gets to survive. Xin Zhao from ahead, ladies and gents. Yikes. Stolen Crescent Guard, you think he's surely dead, but the Chains of Corruption lands. He gets a shield, he gets a bailout, he has his own Crescent Guards. And look at that healing. Conqueror value, Sundered Sky value. Off the charts. Herald charges into mid lane. Doesn't get all that much value. Dragon was picked up by Weibo as well, so they're now at soul point. Oh, JDG. Look, you've got scaling, you've got Sivir and frontline and all these things, but we had our worries compositionally if certain members got ahead, and well, lo and behold, certain members are ahead. Like is 1200 gold, so is Tien. The JDG woes continue. Xiaohu might well be dead here, actually. Flashes to the other side of the wall, but Scout now flashing on over with the abduct available. Xiaohu will die, ends up trading flash for it, but the kill secured. Important there. That's Calm just spawning, but Breathe will take the opportunity with both solo laners bot side to nab this top tier 1. Weibo want to consider threatening the Atacant with it spawning on top side away from the play, but no. It'd be a bit much even for them. Should be able to just pick up Atacant at this point. We're wondering whether that might be the threat, and it is. Petal secured. Xiaohu backs away from Shun and Pays, who can't get on top of Xiaohu. Jaw will headbutt Tien away. Forced to make his will unbreakable. Body, a little less so. So, what do you do now as JDG? You can't afford to give up this dragon. I'm looking at the items and you're going, you've not even got a fully stacked row, you've not got a second item on this Silas. Silas get that second item, maybe. But even then, with the Sivir build, as well, she's got Essence or even Flicker Blades. Loads of ability to spam through ricochets. That's lovely. You don't have damage. It was a greedy build. Really spikes hard at 3 items. Allows you to stay on the map forever to farm resources. And I get that you are playing to scale. Time is up. Clock is done. It's ticking. Hang on, that's just Shun dead. He's gone. Flash away. Chains of Corruption land, the On the Hunt comes down, but now the mid lane tier 1 JDG Pays immediately has to cleanse the spell shield. Can only do so much. Morning Mist just wide, but tier 1 falls. Pays down to 20% HP, your jungler down. Tier 2 now under threat. Morning Mist lands and will send the ghouls running at Pays. We can at least ricochet through a lot of them. Sion will ult in, but there is the Dark Procession. Hijack, Chains of Corruption. To what end? Pressing guard from Tien after the Chains of Corruption land onto him. The tier 2 falls afterwards. You get the kill, you get the double turrets, you get the cleanse off Pays. You get to reset and set up for Ocean Soul, and life looks real good right now for Weibo Gaming. Finally got a Rift Maker to scout. But I don't really know what that offers you at this point in the game. All right, then. Hayes clears out the wave bot side, gives them a way into the river. Scouts in mid, TPing over, having cleared out the wave himself. Draw an attempted flank angle, has got flash. Shun trying to buy some space as the front liner here. Redemption will heal people back up. Ricochet value already pretty okay right now for Pays. Watch your off vision. Gets into the backside. It's only when he to Crisp. Onto the Dragon again. Triple knock up. But Dragon is secured by the piercing arrow of Varus. Crisp goes down. But the fight after must be a wonder from Weibo Gaming. Light is in danger. Blasco Scout back into the pit. And TN flashes out. They've still not lost a member. Not bad from JDG on that front. But the problem is they have not secured Soul. Not denied it at the very least. And the problem is, yeah, you killed a couple members. You didn't kill Light. You didn't kill Tien. You sure as hell didn't kill Light. And the Varus shows Sivir how the damage numbers are done. Pays desperately trying to get something. Gets a Scuttle Crab. We can see the Baron going down now. It's the best you can get. Maybe just reset and hard shove bot, something like that. I don't know. Have a look at the replay because initially Jaw Vision finds what looks like a great flank angle, gets the triple knockup, but it's not a killer blow onto someone important like Light. Shao, who I think still gets a decent combo before dying. Here's that triple knockup. It's not bad, genuinely. But the hostile takeover denies so much of it. And he still gets the Tibbers off. Crisp goes down short, but look at Tien. Impale doesn't give a damn. Light free firing over the wall. Manages to blast Cone Scout back into the pit so he can't secure it. And Tien flashes out to safety. Pays is forced to run from Breathe. Who then goes, cool, I've got all the health bar, and it skirmishes now in your melee range of a Yorick, who donates a lot of last rights. Light gets to rejoin the play. And if you hadn't noticed, that piercing arrow was a bit awkward. Awkward kiting. WASD will solve that. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Light just got blasted. Where was the bailout, Crisp? TP behind. Maybe look to get on top of this, but they have just lost the AD carry. That's potentially a big deal. Jumping down on a Shun, gets stunned up. Hell won't lead to all that much as yet. Down about 10% HP. Boomerang Blade comes flying on through. But won't secure the kills. They will punish the death of their AD carry with the death of the mid and jungle. TM with another double. And the inhibitor falls. We've lost 2 members. Fire 4v3. You now have to defend the Nexus turrets. You can wave clear the best you can. But a handshake is a little too firm for the Alistair's paws. Hooves. He dies as well. Pays at half HP. Has to try and defend from middle of nowhere. Shao Shu desperately trying to stop the wave, but can't do so. Tien threatening. Oh my days. Audacious charge. And Sivir is decapitated. Weibo Gaming decisive in their 2-0. Second game, much like the first, even more dominant. And JDG, their issues against higher tier teams continue. They just look anemic, don't they? Hello, folks. Good to see you all. Weibo Gaming with the decisive win so far. That was such a fries in the bag series. Yeah, it was a bit... wasn't very exciting, was it? I've had better games of League of Legends. It happens. Bailout is only for Tien this game. Yeah, very much so. Honestly, that single series could turn into a JDG hit. It wasn't very good. Pays defensively okay in game 1. Didn't really become a threat in either game. Scout and Shun got, I don't know, very little value in general, it has to be said. I just don't think JDG, like there is no spark there, I think is what it is. I am seeing no actual game plan. And they played 2 comps where they were... Game 1, they were asking to be defensive, right? Into the Pantheon to layer, they had tools to be reactive, defensive into that. In game 2, they tried to scale their way to victory. But I need to see them with more priority lanes. More of an actual early game plan. Even if it is, okay, we're going to trade over here to get something. They got a dragon or 2, I guess. But Shun just looked lost on the map post about 10 minutes. They looked in general lost on the map. And Weibo's kind of got free skirmishes on their terms a lot. We saw that awful red buff invade as well. Like, what was that plan? Like who made that one? It was just very, very ill-advised. There was that one where Tien ends up getting the double kill before dying around his own red buff. You go, okay, so what gave you the thought that this would be a functional invade? Oh, guys, I feel a bit unwell, I have to say. I'm not sure whether it was the gameplay or my cold. Got him! Feels like JDG's shot calling has just gotten even worse. Like, they just don't have any confidence. I like that is... Look at what they've given up. What is it? That's like... They got a Herald and a single Grub. No dragons. The turrets were traded way too late. The damage numbers are literally half of their opposite numbers. I mean, Pays did some. This game in the end wasn't about light, really, was it? Good early shove. But it was Tien and Shahu blasting people in skirmishes early on. Pays in Cat's Despair, yeah. Like, how do you miss that one? Oh, the handshake is really good, actually. I missed that one in game. Oh. Right. I'm gonna get myself another coffee. I'm gonna turn this camera off. I'm gonna get myself some more paracetamol. We'll see who gets MVP. Run some adverts. Ugh. In a shock to no one, Tien gets MVP. Hey, Badaddy. Welcome on in. How you doing? Welcome to the community. Yo. BDA day. Right. Let me go get that coffee. I'm procrastinating too much. We've still got another game today.
WBG Tap Tap 获得这场比赛的胜利。来到赛后采访环节，嘉宾是下路选手 Light， 欢迎 Light 来先跟大家打一个招呼吧。
大家好，我是 WBG
Headphones caught on the chair.
选手 Light。
Let me also add in the League Mastery
是
logo.
在第3赛段第一次跟北京 JDG 交手，今天交手下来有什么样的感受，跟大家来分享一下？
因为是，其实我们的看法是，快季后赛了，就季后赛前2场吧。
Oh yeah, BDA. So basically, the post-game stats don't include that at the minute for some reason. So it's actually quite hard to tell. So you're gonna have to scrub back through the VOD, I'm afraid. There isn't really an easy way to go check, which is a bit annoying. So yeah, you'll just have to scrub back through the VODs.
其实更多的是让我们
I do apologize on that one.
优势的时候不要着急。
But hey, LPL does its stats in weird ways sometimes.
是9-0-7的一个非常豪华的数据，会怎么评价自己今天第一局飞机的一个表现？
飞机本身就是这种功能型的吧，就是顺的时候这个应用会很厉害。
然后这个第2局维鲁斯的这个抢龙太关键了，那个龙魂拿的怎么做到？跟大家来复盘一下那一波的抢龙。
其实那里感觉我们的站位感觉站得不好吧，然后只能去龙坑里跟那边打架，然后因为维鲁斯有 WQ 的被动嘛，就跟小田说了2斤血可以承接。
然后今天其实这2局的比赛我看下来，我的一个非常大的感受是小天和松松的野辅联动真的做得非常的好。我想知道 Light 在你眼里，你觉得你们队伍现在野辅联动是一个怎样的存在？如果让你评价一下的话。
其实我们队伍整体不着急的情况，就大家都可以做得很好，对。
大家只要正常发挥，都会有一个很好的状态和表现。那最后，今天对于 Light 来说也非常的特别，因为解锁了自己在 LPL 第600次出场的一个成就。从18年的 Snake 时期来到今年25年，不知不觉已经过了7年左右的这个时间，打了有600场。你自己现在回顾这600场，在今天这样的一个里程碑，你有什么样的感受？
一步一步打到现在，确实挺不容易的吧？但现在对我来说已经不太重要了，应该不会再有第700场了。对。
我觉得其实 Light 真的是一个人狠话不多的人啊，他把自己所有的能量都贡献在了比赛场上。当然，我觉得接下来的比赛骑士之路也好，季后赛也好，我们一定也会看到一个越来越好、更好的 Light 和更好的 WBG。我们也把祝福和支持给到 Light， 好吗？希望他在后面的比赛有更加出色的表现。那也感谢 Light 接受我们的采访。接下来让大家欣赏一段精彩的 Spotlight。
现在开卢先，我能准备。
没盾了，没盾了。
我
没位，我开不到的。
OK。
你闪现避他技能，我跳他后面。
我没 OK。我准备，我没闪，我没闪。OK。
他们急了，他们急了。
没事。兰博。
跳了。
啊，被烫死。卢先。
能一波吧这样。
能一波。nice。
漂亮，兄弟们。可以 ，nice。
我看你有闪。
没闪。我有闪，肯定我也看你有闪。我这边是没闪。你们找绕后的人吧，萨拉斯在中路上。哎，萨拉斯踢下去了，踢到下面。别被弹。
我都在这个草，我进不去。
先回下去。
直接开正面前，我想进龙坑，等人看我。
可以。得进坑里啊，这样。哎，我 E 了。坑我大了。先打脸上的呗。哎。牛头龙。
2000。我的。
哎，我在看 AD 啊，AD 要进。
保下没地。
我在打对面 AD。AD 没闪。
我把你
应该会赢哦。
你晕他的。
我在杀对面 AD 啊，兄弟们，我走了。这样我回来了。
这样还能打吗？
能。
哎，我在看。
打沙斯，先把沙斯杀了。
能打，你能打。
帮我来。伤害了。好 ，AD 是
他蝎子呢
？AD 应该没用。
E 到了。
杀他吧。打完吃大龙。
Look right here. Look right here. Come see what everyone's been looking at. Everyone's been talking about. When you the best, you call it out. People watch cause they love when they watch this. We are number one on your watch list. Everything you need grouped together like a mosh pit. We don't stop cause we know they can't stop this. It's nothing new, we gotta do what we do. We got you glued to your seat without using glue. We got it. Hey, turn down when you can turn up. We got it. You at the right place, look no further. We got it. Hey, turn down when you can turn up.
Question. Is Pays held back by his team? Does he carry at least some of the blame for JDG strong? That's Bradley Wong. Let's get that one over in Anivia's chat. So, I think on an individual level, Pays has been fine. Last split, I thought he was genuinely good. This split, I think he's been fine. However, so the rumors are saying one of the issues with JDG's comms is the fact that basically Pays needs to be translated for quite heavily, and he needs quite a lot of direction, and that's been problematic. Whereas Ruler largely was very quiet and just went and did stuff, which allowed them to not to keep communicating in Mandarin and make things very easy. And that's not been so smooth as the year has gone on and those communication issues have grown worse. Now, I don't know how much of that is true. I don't know how much of that is cope. But I think the answer is probably some. I think he's certainly not being a top tier carry right now. I think there's a lot of reasons for that. But I don't think he's necessarily the end of that. I'm late. Is Weibo versus JDG over? Yeah, it's over. It's over. We smile at the camera. The socials. Hello, socials. Come join us on stream. We are streaming the LPL. You will find us in the links below.
大家好，欢迎来到赛前采访，我是主持人小优。我们邀请到的是 AL 战队的中单选手 Shanks， 先和大家打个招呼吧。
大家好，我是 AL 中单香克斯。
欢迎香克斯选手。那首先，其实最近是接连2场2-0的这个成绩嘛，队伍状态是一路攀升的。那带着这样一份好势头回到西安，迎来组内赛的收官战，有没有特别想在今天这场比赛达成的小目标呢？
My
小目标就是希望能2-0带走 WE 吧，然后个人的小目标是能拿一个 MVP。
好的，希望今天可以在赛场上见证你的这个目标完成啊。那时隔1个月再度对阵到 WE 嘛，你觉得和1个月前相比，队伍在配合或者战术上有了哪些新的突破呢？是准备以怎样的姿态去迎接这场重逢呢？
我觉得我们最近状态是越打越好了吧。然后我觉得 WE 虽然就是输的比较惨，但是他们真的有很多打得好的地方的，就是他们的控资源，然后他们拿手的阵容就需要小心。
所以还是期待你们今天的这场对抗，加油，谢谢。同样呢，我们也邀请到了西安 WE 的中单选手 Karis， 还是先请他和大家打个招呼吧。
你好，我是西安气象 WE 中单 Karis。
欢迎 Karis 选手。那首先第一个问题啊，背靠背的比赛，大家今天都辛苦了。那今天作为组内赛的收官战，想要展现怎样的竞技状态呢？
오늘 연달아 어제부터 시작해서 경기가 있는데 오늘 어떤 경기력으로 보여줄 건지?
어제 초중반이 괜찮았는데 좀 시간이 지나면서 좀 아쉬웠던 모습들이 많이 나왔다고 생각해서 그런 부분들을 최대한 보완해서 오늘은 어제 안 좋았던 부분들을 최대한 보완해서 오늘은 좀 더 좋은 경기력을 보여드리고 싶습니다.
昨天的话，前中期表现的话其实还可以吧，但是到综合区的话表现一如进一吧。然后今天就
No, it's in 22 hours. It's 22 hours. No, unfortunately not. It's happened. At the end of that, so it made things more difficult than least successful in Gen.G. Yeah, exactly. Like I think Pays well at the beginning of the year was looking really good. I think he just looks very unremarkable right now, which is not what JDG needs.
일단 전체적으로 라인전 부분을 다들 잘 해야 될 것 같고.
Civ has been very mediocre, which has been very unhelpful in the current meta.
상대팀이 좀 수업이랑 좀 라인 관리를 잘한다고 생각해서 그런 부분들을 최대한 저희가 소통하면서 잘 맞춰야 될 것 같아요.
首先的话，得把
make sure you can't hear me eating over here.
第二，这个队的话，运营还有换线这方面的话，做的处理的非常好嘛。然后我们的话得积极的沟通，把这方面的话处理好。
好的，也期待你们的赛场表现了。谢谢 Karis， 同时也谢谢我们的翻译老师。
Here comes our team intros.
欢迎来到2025英雄联盟职业联赛第3赛段，这里是西安曲江电竞中心，让我们有请双方对阵战队。
Oh, the deferred games, yes. Sorry, oh, is that? I know there's deferred games tomorrow. Is Weibo JDG one of them? We're getting that again tomorrow. Oh my god, okay. Joy of joys. I'd forgotten that was one of the... because I knew we had the delayed games tomorrow, but I hadn't realized that was one of them. Oof. Oh, that's going to be such a fun series.
首先，让我们欢迎 Anyone's Legend。上单 Flanger， 打野 Tarzan， 中单 Shanks， 下路 Hope， 辅助 Kale。让我们欢迎西安 Team WE。
I knew IGBLG was one. I've forgotten the other one was Weibo JDG
上
again.
单 Cube， 打野 Monkey， 中单 Kyrus， 下路 Taeyoon， 辅助 One Pair。
What will the schedule look like after this week? Playoffs? Yeah.
LPL 第3赛段常规赛组内赛第7周第3日的第2场比赛，由西安 WE 对阵 AL， 比赛即将开始 ，LPL 5位进巅峰。
Look at that headpiece. That's awesome. Food acquired and consumed. What's my prediction for this one? I think it's 2-0 AL. It should be 2-0 AL, right? Well, we'll find out. WE banning away the Pantheon and the Trundle. Two of our hot ticket junglers that do warp drafts very, very heavily, the both of them. Skarner away from Monkey, don't give him that champion. What are we locking in last as a ban? Talia, Gwen, Rumble. I think we're going to be looking at a Gwen Rumble trade here regardless, because both of them are staying up. Yeah, they'll ban the Talia. That means realistically we're trading Rumble and Gwen in some capacity. I don't know whether you first pick one or the other, because you might be happy with either side, because the other thing that gets through, of course, Varus. Nerfed. And everyone's just switched to playing on hit. Annie Wukong. Annie Shinzao. Annie Wukong. The CC chain is ridiculous. One stun leads into another. You do Cyclone, Stun, Cyclone for the best chain CC, or you can do Stun to set up for the Cyclone, and you kind of get it anyway. Galio and Rumble in for WE. So they're going for that Galio, so I probably need to Gwen here or it's going to get banned. Unless you want to try Aurora-ing into this. Huh. You could save the Gwen for another game. Andre is an Aurora player. So, Aurora into Rumble. I feel like Rumble still wins that one. No. Although we did just see Breathe run that matchup earlier. I'm pretty sure it was Aurora into Rumble. Or was the Rumble game from Xiaoshu. In fact, yes, it was. And that worked out quite well for Breathe. There was an early-ish lead for the Rumble. It wasn't that significant. The team fights were still much of a muchness. And there's another big circle to go within the mid-game. Because the mid-game spike from AL and from WE very, very high. Both teams going to be wanting to use their ultimates aggressively, their one-item marks aggressively. Difference right now is AD carries versus junglers. Jarvan away, yeah, I think when you've got the Rumble and the Galio, very easy setup. Monkey is an Olaf player. Get that off the board, could have been very annoying for the likes of the Wukong and the Annie to manage. You can't CC him, so just don't allow that one to come on through. Is Varus default on hit now? No, we've still seen some poke Varus, but it does feel like post the nerfs, poke Varus is much more conditional. I've seen 1 or 2 poke Varuses, but not very many. Zaya and Rakan might now be the answer, or you could just Corki for hope. He's gotten a lot better at that champion, to be fair. He used to be very bad at that one. Am I the Anivia guy? No, I am not. I am Initialise. We are live on Anivia's channel, but it's a collaboration. Anivia has been live on here before. They look a little different. Has to be said, also not British. So Anivia is a lovely guy. Shout out to him. It's been a pleasure working with him. Baiting a Poppy here. Yeah, a lot of dashes. Poppy, I think, in general, pretty good. Would make for a good jungle option for Monkey. Alistair as well. Good diver, good frontliner. Headbutt out. Things like the Wukong and the Aurora as they go looking. You can deal with some of the burst quite well. Plus a bit more single target. Part of the run away from a depth charge, and Vampire will go towards it. It is a pick he does enjoy looking at. Seen him overplay his hand once or twice. Rel is fine here. It's another big circle. Another big team fight ult. Pairs well with the Corki. Your Gatling gun plus the passive on Rel the Mold Breaker allows you to shred a lot of resist, especially without Spellbook being a thing. You can end up basically putting people down to like negative resists effectively, which can be miserable for them. Like your voice, thank you very much. I'm a procaster, to be fair. So at this point, you'd hope my voice would be good. It is my job. So, drafts as they stand, folks. Both teams wanting to do quite similar things at quite similar time. Lots of big one-item spike, blow all your ultimates and kill your target type thing. It's a little bit more pick from WE because you've got the Nautilus and the Varus ult and the Poppy. Single target, slam someone into the wall, don't allow them to move, blast them. Galio can then follow in on top, Equalizer can then follow in on top, life is good. For AL, they can play a bit more smoke and mirrors, a bit more with the flanks. They have to be a bit more committal with their damage. The Rumble and the Varus, a bit further away theoretically. But you've then got the big AoEs of Between Worlds, the Cyclone, Annie's stun kit, your Rel Magnet Storm. Lots of very dangerous circles. It's a bit more AoE focused, which is theoretically quite good. And a little bit of mobility to, as well with Corki Valkyrie. And Aurora's slipperiness. All those things. Wukong, of course, as well. Notoriously very mobile. Rel, pretty mobile as well as far as support goes. To try and outplay some of that single target CC. They do have to be wary of overcommitting into a Galio ult and a Poppy W. Those are some tools to punish the big AoE wombo. But it is easier to execute. lot simpler in terms of what you need to do to make things work. And I think for that reason, I'm going to give AL that slight edge here, especially when WE have not been very consistent. They've got 0-2 last time we saw them. They didn't even get the traditional game win for all they've been 2-11. They have found game wins against a lot of teams. But Jayo's first. Gameplay next. I turn off League Mastery. Forgot to do that. 1 second. Blocking the thing. Go away. Right. But you only do LPL, not LCK matches. Yeah, we don't have the co-streamer rights for LCK. We kind of got our niche as LPL casters now, so that tends to be the way we do things. So, Vampire hooks to the wall. Forces a flash actually out of Hope as a result. Staggering blows would have been dangerous. Ends up with a lot of summoners in general blown bot side. Tatum's down his own flash. Vampire down the heel. Pile down a couple summoners as well, whereas Vampire's held on to his flash. So, you know what? Probably all in all, upwards trade for WE. The only thing is Monkey delayed his clear to make this stuff happen. Has taken Wolves, come towards bot side. Still got red to pick up, but it's actually going to have to skip it to ensure that Tarzan doesn't end up just like getting in there and invading, which he might well still do actually. He is going to be able to finish up these Krugs on good order, get over towards Scuttlecrab, might be able to double scuttle, see what Tarzan's plan is here, because he is a long way ahead in terms of this skirmishing. The red buff diff alone could be very problematic. Yeah, he's gonna find Poppy on a blue. He's gonna find Poppy on a blue. Shanks is coming as well. Found them. Okay, gotta be a bit aware of a potential shove into a wall here. Trying to find a decent angle. Will not spot them. Will pull away. Turn towards the Scuttlecrab. Decides it's against his best interest to be involved with this. Look to get this one. There's a world where Poppy comes across. Will now smite seeing Monkey come out of the bush. There's the steadfast presence. We'll see no red buff, though, and look to invade the red. He's going to go straight across here and go towards the red buff. Could Scuttlecrab into it, but I think this is going to be a red buff invade. Huh. Interesting. Decides against it. I guess with Nautilus having shove would have been too risky. Yeah, okay. Would have been too risky. We'll take the double scuttle and leave it at that. Can theoretically go towards Gromp and just clear ahead. Poppy's clear is so anemic now. Had a lot of praise for Monkey. The early look in bot side, the early defensive pathing. Creative though it was, has fallen prey to the issue with pathing in a non-standard way. Namely, if your other opposing jungler just clears and then looks at you, it can be a miserable time. Poppy didn't get a kill. Didn't really get all that involved. Fondra's going to interrupt cube there. And that could be a real problem. Tarzan's just going to be able to do another full clear. Oh, plus the double scuttle. Yeah, that one stings. And Poppy's camp time is going to be on such weird timers, man. Good hook from Vampire. Shattering strike back. Barrier down from Hope. Will crash down in the way. Good work from WE's bot lane, who had a lot of criticism thrown their way of late. Heal from Monkey. They know he's around. He hasn't reset yet. Hope gets the back. Picks up Tyranno. Sword. Kyle, you can't walk at this. Poppy's going to shut you into a wall. Okay. Gets away with it. Gets in range for the minion XP, but still the wave denied, and that's good news for Taeyun and Vampire. It is their classic lane, the Varus and the Nautilus. Uber risky. Yes, it was, but it does get the XP. You know, you'll take what you can get. Put away with it. They have reset and gone top. The early trade backs for Vampire ends up being quite valuable in the end, it turns out. Quite good early trades. That additional flash blown by Hope ends up costing quite a lot in this early game. Not anything game breaking or anything yet, but still problematic. Cube, Shattering Strike, Ferromancy Crash down. Gatling gun trade there as well. Force Cube likely to reset, maybe forced to say ult away, but it's already on cooldown, so I think it's already done that. Actually losing out to this Aurora in farm right now, which is not what I was necessarily expecting. Rumble on a bit of a bully in lane, even if it takes him a couple levels for his Flame Spitter to heat up to truly dangerous levels these days. Hook goes wide. Flandre gets to press W on a good timer. Rubs. Picked up by WE here on the whole. Oh, Night of Frogs disaster. Is that RuneScape? Or is that Minecraft? Died in lava. Bad time. Okay. Shanks was trading out there with Tibbers. It's a decent chunk back. Happy enough with that. Has got the Ionian boot, so opportunities to clear waves and trade with the Tibbers very high. It's not on a very long cooldown realistically at this point. Aurora up about 10 CS, similar bot side. The big difference actually is Shanks is trading very well into Karis right now. Wasn't expecting the Galio to be down nearly 20 CS. Been a very quiet early game on the whole, outside of the early bot lane Summoner's trade. Tarzan's hit level 7 quite happily. Up a couple hundred gold off the clearing. Picks up another Scuttle Crab. I don't think Monkey has seen a Scuttle Crab this game. Shanks doesn't do very much damage anymore to Karis because he's got a Negatron cloak. Not Negatron, Spectre's Count, I apologize. Spectre's Count, yeah, that's right. Jack Spectre, notorious for building magic resist on AD carries, obviously. blasts a rocket. Good stun again onto Karras, just trading out pretty well. But again, Karras just cares a lot less than he did earlier on in lane. We've got Dragon up, we've got Held in a few minutes, but it has just been very, very slow. Though, in fairness, we have now largely got ults available. First items beginning to be completed. So you would expect at the Dragon or Herald that we might start seeing a bit of action. Trinity Force now done for Tarzan. Expensive old item, that. Hope trying to get a plate here should do so. Dragon started up by WE as a result. Not really sure to what end, in the sense that they'll pick that one up, but no one's really going to come and contest them. So, free objective 4, and they picked up the early Grub free. They pick up the early Dragon free, and AL don't really get all that much else, though. In fairness, waiting for Trinity Force on Corki, for Leandries on Aurora might be worth the wait, I suppose. Ghostblade now done for Taeyu, makes him quite scary. It's worth noting, Hail of Blades Varus with the Ghostblade. This will be a poke Varus, though of course with the Hail of Blades you do get a few autos off. It's kind of like the fast stacking on the Blights into a quick Q. So not pure poke with the Comet, even if it is still going to be a lethality build. Tarzan, Kyle, looking at Karras. Vampire's also around, though, so I don't think they necessarily want to overclaw force this. They'll give the plate to Flandre. Hope trading with Taeyu. Hope, of course, doesn't have Cleanse, and does need to be a bit aware of a Chains of Corruption play. Monkey goes zooming into the enemy jungle. Clears out a ward. Will lose his own in trade. Got a minute till Herald, and surely there we see some action, right, guys? Right? LPL, the bloodiest region on Earth. Notorious for fast-paced action, unhinged team fighting, and mechanics out of the wazoo. Don't ask what a wazoo is. Prime example, 14 minutes and nothing has happened. Be dazzled by laning. Be bombarded by waves being ping-ponged. Be jitterbugged by ward clearing. Is it this riveting stuff, guys? In fairness, Shanks has managed to pick up about a 30 CS lead. I was about to say that, more like a 20 as that wave does get cleared out. And that's great news. You've got your full items largely in for everyone not named support. So we might actually feel like both teams are ready to start something up here. Herald is here. AL in the river. Hope needs to be a bit careful of things like Flash Chains of Corruption and the like. Okay, so AL took control of the river. Give it back up. And Herald gets started by WE. AL can now no longer see anything. TP in. Are we playing this? There they are. We've got a bit of a fight. Finally, Kyle gets chunked low, taken down. Herald also secured. Steadfast present. And now Tarzan looking for an angle as Monkey. Flashes away as the stun came flying from Shanks. Ends up being a win for WE. Herald and a kill. Shanks sidesteps the hook. Flashes away from Monkey looking for the heroic charge. Into the backline goes Tarzan. Keeper's verdict goes wide between wells. And all the while, Taeyu needs to get over the wall. Health bars on WE low, but not quite down. Flandre goes across the veil. Looking for a shotgun blast. KO going to be forced to cleanse. The twofold X Hero's entrance will not come in time. Carousel looking at Tarzan. Doesn't have a warrior trickster until just now. Gets away to safety. Monkey looking for more damage. Keeper's verdict comes out. And Flandre is knocked away, but not before taking Nautilus with him. Hope is traded. And that ends up being a, 3 for 2 in favor of WE. Who got Herald as well. So that's just feats of strength for WE. Didn't quite see how Hope died at the back end of that. Have a look in the replay. Starts with AL having vision control and then losing and having a face check, and Kyle gets blasted. And then WE go on the retreat, and AL managed to finagle this quite well. Monkey sort of has to flash. He was afraid of a Cyclone and the stun combo from the Annie Wukong. Shanks, good sidestep and a lot of the CC, flashes Monkey's charge. And AL see the angle in. Tarzan flash out of the shield around and threatens the backline really well with Flandre. Vampire's low, Taeyun's low, and Flandre goes across the veil and looks for the weirding kill. The twofold Hex just tags Taeyun, thinking, okay, well, it's game on now. Killed the AD carry. They can probably play this out. Tarzan escapes, then Hope just gets flashed on by the Rumble. That's what it is. The Keeper's verdict knocks Flandre away, so he can't help secure too many more kills, but still has enough burn damage to kill off the Nautilus. Hooks onto a wall there, not onto Shanks. We'll get an exhaust down onto him. Big chunk there from the rocket. Herald was dropped mid. Dragon is up. I think WE could start this one up. They're the ones in the river right now. WE, after the quiet early game in that skirmish, now found themselves 1,000 gold up. Got the feats of strength. The early objective. Second dragon is theirs. They'll have been very quiet this game. Gonna be turret as well. WE just kind of getting to do whatever the hell they like. AL did get the turret first top side, at the very least, if Flandre will get that one. And again, if your win condition is an Aurora, not the worst thing in the world. Harris eats a fair amount of damage from Hope. AL with an 88% first turret win rate. Not bad. Kyle finds Monkey, who charges him into wall, but gets a phase rush and backs away, does the Yordle. I don't really know what to say about this game so far. It's just been very slight. Atakan's up. All remains about 1,000 to WE. Scaling-wise, I think we're in a bit of a weird position this game. I think I prefer AL's scaling. Basically because the W are very burst heavy with a kind of lethality Varus that's gone for the sort of hybrid with the Hail of Blaze to get some autos in regardless. And then Galio Poppy for burst. And then Rumble being a kind of weird hybrid between Flame Spitter being good consistent damage. As tier 1 does go down. Good for WE, that's actually quite nice. But I just think it's something about Corki, Wukong, Aurora all being very, very good in extended fights. Even so, I think WE with the early objective lead, the early turret lead, are in a pretty good position this game. I think that statistical graph will probably be on a fairly decent track there. Not an absolute advantage in the sense of like this game is over. There's certainly ones in the driver's seat right now. 1.5 minutes until Dragon. AL not done a fantastic job of defending Vision, honestly, around objectives. See that Herald fight, which was really ugly from them. Got the walls down and failed to defend them, but looking for the play on him. Vampire flashes out from Kyle's flash in. Keeper's ready, knocks 2 away. Hang on, turn around. As Hope goes down, and now Kyle's dead as well. The pick goes wrong. Wonderful keeper's verdict. And now a 3v5 around the Atakan. He should blow up Karis, but he flashes away the burn! And the Atakan damage is enough to secure a kill back onto Karis, who face checks too greedily. 4v3 is more playable. Vampire on a flank angle off Vision between worlds. Cooks into the backline, blows up Cube, surely. Not quite Vampire solo. Aurora is traded by the flash forward from Taeyun with a lethality-powered Cube. Cube does have TP. Could come back. But I think Atakan may well be stopped here. Does Cube want to TP back in? He's thinking about it. No, he's not. He's going to go topside. Tarzan holding it here as well. Oh, now that gets interesting. Hope's coming down. They are finding an elite reset. I wondered both sides were toying with the leash. Interesting sequence. Tried to jump on a couple members, didn't quite have the burst, and the keeper's verdict from Monkey is excellent. So Kyle tries to jump on Monkey and Vampire. Just missed Monkey. W's in time. And then knock away on the Annie and the Wukong, and suddenly it is a much less even fight in the river, and Hope gets blasted. Kyle gets followed up on. But then Karis afterwards dying made it a lot more challenging. It's a really unfortunate death from him after. Hook onto Tarzan. It's onto the clone. Haha. Fooled you all. Live patch, bruh. And yes, they have nerfed lethality virus. And yet, here we are. Gone for a bit of a hybrid option with the Hail of Blades, as we said. So we're still going to get some auto attacks in, but it is a nerf build nonetheless. Still 2k up. Will hurt into a lot of these squishies. Redemption on Rel. Over the wall, Tarzan! Backline, Hero's entrance, though, will mean that Tarzan's life is pretty hellish. Chunk very low. Keeper's verdict again from Monkey. But the stun from Annie makes it an interesting trade of affairs. Kyle dies because Hope and Flandre aren't there because they got knocked away again. Health bars are low from WE, though. Flandre going to try and get onto Monkey here. Good damage, shoved into a wall. Taeyun looking for potential angle. Glass cone available. Karis low. Taeyun low. TP back in now from Nautilus with the spell book. Monkey with clutch knockaways, 2 bait fights in a row. And AL just can't find the angle. That's sole point for WE. Tarzan jumps in. Gets onto Taeyun, loads of damage, but then the turnaround comes on through. The knockaway on both the damage dealers is ridiculous. Imagine if Flandre got to between worlds there. Imagine if Hope managed to get a false bomb. Look how low the health bars were. It would have been glorious. Except Monkey just says no. Really, really, really good from Monkey. That fight looks so different. Honestly, Michael, I don't even hate AL's draft this game. I think WE one short of damage post a certain point. If you don't find really good burst and pick combos, and Monkey is playing superlatively, not the WE. Got a bad draft. I do think that AL's AoE, an ability to blast some mobile carries, can be pretty scary this game too. They played it a bit slow. Set up for objectives poorly, and that's been more of my issue. Poor objective setup, and great play from Monkey to deny 2 carries a fight, it feels like, with the keeper's verdict. It's been really, really problematic. Bot lane just aren't doing anything yet. I will say part of the reason they're not anywhere they're supposed to be is because Monkey keeps knocking them away from where they're supposed to be. And the vision control game has been very poor from AL around objectives. Again, they're setting up too early and they're not defending vision and then having to reface check with no wards. Blind. Two minutes until the next dragon. BLG Monkey. That would be, I mean, who knows at this point? Could you imagine? WE get knocked out in playoffs. After playoffs, BLG go, what do we need for Worlds? I know, another jungler. Boom. Hook onto Kyle, tries to trade it out. Monkey flash over the wall, can't quite find the angle he's looking for. Redemption will heal him back up. Flash from Shanks, double stun. Huge chunk. Hero's entrance. Tarzan backs out of the AoE. But now a lot of those defensive tools are down. Does it lead to anything? No. I mean, Shanks blows his flash for that too. Doesn't really get much more than a hero's entrance. Minute and a half until Dragon. It's very early to be blowing these cooldowns. I don't think it's the Annie's job to do damage this game necessarily. It's supposed to be Hope and Flandre's job, and you're really there for setup and utility. And you have got very nice AoE stuns. And in fairness, he hit everyone. He hit the 3 people with chain-laced crushes. You were never going to do that much there, it has to be said. You do need follow-up. You're not a single-person carry. Flash ult doesn't move the health. I mean, true enough. But, you know, we'll see. Slightly surprised we didn't see a good between worlds there. But I guess with Karis having his ult available would have been problematic. Won't have it for this fight, I don't think. Shanks will have his. All other ults will be up. Important to note, of course, Shanks and Hope down their flashes. Monkey down theirs. WE once again end up in control of the river before an objective. Oh, the poke really stings. Tarzan will heal off the Gromp. Will help mitigate that a little bit. Smite early to clear through this fast. There we go. He heals back up. Trying to trade out. Flandre gets taunted with the Shield of Durand. Redemption. Atakan is still here. There's a one where Taeyun just aggroes Atakan and just shreds all of AL's health bars. Kyle's going to be spotted. Looking for the flank angle. So is Cube. Tarzan looking as well. Vampire flashing over to get onto Kyle, who flashes in turn. Support for support flash. Kyle's still on this flank angle. Looking to Tarzan gets on top of Taeyun. Chains of Corruption lands onto the clone. Turning around. Back end goes the Redemption. Kyle low. The Magastorm is stolen up. The Hero's Entrance comes on through. And they can't find any damn damage. Taeyun flashes out to safety. Chunk onto Karis, who's very tanky at this point. Hope steps on forwards. Can't find what he's looking for. The Equalizer kind of sucks. Keeper's Verdict. Oh, completely invalidates Cube's flash. Hope, though, goes down, trades his life with Nautilus. It's not really the best angle. Karis trying to speed their way away. Justice Punch comes on down. Electrocute in. Burns good. Superior Abjuration. Goes Golden, will likely die now. Will do. Look at Shanks on the flank angle. Damage on a Taeyun who's not got a flash. Flandre gets... Oh, failed his hop. Flandre failed his hop. Oh, Flandre. How could you fail the hop over the wall? Oh, that's a disaster. Now Shanks will surely die. Goes Golden. I mean, good grief, Flandre. What a debacle of a team fight. Cube flashes forwards onto a target that is ulted away. Flandre W's over a wall and fails to face plants it. So this is the moment you're going to watch. So initially, good job on Taeyun, who flashes away well, but changed the claim. They look to get into the backside. In goes Kyle. The hero's entrance comes on down. They blow up Kyle, who is now dead. Then things get weird. The shielded around angle kind of zones people off. They try to jump onto Shanks here as Cube flashes forward. As Monkey knocks him away. Equalizer sucks. It's not great. The hook, though, onto Hope is rough. Hope getting caught there is not great fun. Monkey needs a lot of damage for it, though. And then Karis gets runs at. Flandre looks for the kill, goes golden. You're thinking, well, actually, the health bars are really low here. Flandre and Tarzan could definitely do this, especially with Shanks on his flank angle. We're back to live, though, as Annie's been blown up. Turn around, hero's entrance. Tarzan to the backside, interrupts the Galio. Carl looking for the Magnus over the backside. Hope ready out with Monkey, but Monkey just 1v1ing Hope, who was called top of the equalizer. They just don't have any damage. They finally kill off Taeyun. Flandre trying to get some work down. Tarzan goes into 4 and will die. And that surely is Ocean Soul. The damage from AL is just missing. I was expecting the 3-kill Aurora to be much more of a threat than she was. Hasn't got a Bloodletter's Curse, got raw damage, and there's just so much magic resist. Like, you have to get a Bloodletter's Curse, surely. This is how what happened. Shanks just walks up and dies. I mean, that's just bad, Shanks. Tarzan does a decent enough job of interrupting the Galio, but Hope gets blasted. Can't Valkyrie because of the W. Still doesn't have flash, was taken out incredibly low by the equalizer. And Tarzan, I guess, is trying to buy space with Flandre and then escape after, but I mean, I don't know. That's Ocean Soul, and will be Atakan as well, and WE likely with a pretty easy win here. Hope's coming over, and the health bars could be a bit low. Hope times a Foss Bomb well. Can't lead it into a steal, though. The smite key is steady enough from Monkey. Well, Baron now the next protocol. There's the Atakan. Gold is about 3k in the lead of WE, but the Ocean Soul be really annoying this game. Finally got a Blighting Jewel as Flandre. Maybe that's enough. I fear it may be too late, though. The other thing is Tarzan's gone for a very burst-heavy build. Doesn't have a Starix, doesn't have a Black Cleaver. It's just not tanky. If you can get to GA, you might become more of a threat again. Karis. Flash. Shattering Strike. Crash down. Karis goes golden. Vampire coming up. Isn't there quite yet. And I think it's just Karis being dead. He is. Nice pick. TP in. Man advantage. 55 seconds with no teleport. Good hero's entrance. But I think this is going to be a Baron start. You've got to do it into a Varus, though, with Poke. Monkey. Shattering Strike. Can't turn it into more. Flandre on a flank angle. Watch the bunny. Watch the bunny. Watch the bunny. Onto the backline. Taeyun flashed away again. Cube now looking to come back around himself. The weirding comes on down. Tarzan eats so much damage and gets blasted. Monkey survives. Shanks has to go golden as he nearly burns out. Flandre going across the veil. Tries to get damage onto Monkey. He just doesn't take all that much. Tarzan's just too squishy. Goes in and gets absolutely ruined. Has a GA now, but you're dead, by the way. And Baron is here, and you're now dead for 30 seconds. Oh, it could still be a problematic moment here for AL. Tween World is up. TP in. Taeyun has no flash. Watch this. Varus gets blown up. All the while, Monkey's desperately low. To the other side of the Between Worlds goes Flandre. Needs to keep running. Does get the shield. Courtesy of Shanks. Kyle has bounced around, but they have to run away as Monkey's desperately low. But the Ocean Soul healing is so annoying. Hope desperately low, trying to kill off Vampire. Can't kill him. Monkey jumps on it. Hero's entrance. Shank's blown up as well. The Ocean Soul is such a problem. A Monkey with a critical flash over. Equalizer sucks. It's a blind one, so I don't blame it too much. Now we've got a 3v4. Tarzan with the GA can step on forward, but the Ocean Soul has made things so tricky. Monkey's gone quite deep for this. I don't know. Heal comes on down. Depth charge onto Flandre will force him back away. Tarzan is now going to be in a 1v4. Does take the Nautilus with him. Has got a GA to work with, but Flandre has to go across the veil. There is no flash. When is Shanks coming up? Not quick enough. And they kill off the jungler again. Now you have to feel Baron is on the table. What a weird Baron setup. Man advantages thrown away multiple times there, but Ocean Soul is just ridiculous. You needed the penetration a little earlier, Flandre. And Taeyun just hasn't died easy. Tarzan's been too squishy. Kyle with this build as well. I think it had to be... I know you wanted the redemption, but I think the locket might have kept you in one piece. Yeah, so normally, Mello, WE normally win a game and then lose. Regardless. Hope as well just hasn't been able to get involved this game. Aeon on his iconic Varus doing a lot of work. Just the piercing arrow this time, but the MVP for me has been Monkey. He's been so good. Denying so many attempted engages, so many turnarounds. Inhibitor turret goes down. Flandre should pick up that turret just fine. Tarzan. Fair amount of work. You're thinking of Care and Cream, Mabby. I think Rookie's Annie has been ahead pretty regularly. I'll go check out the stats after the game because maybe my recollection is wrong, but I am fairly certain you're wrong there. Care had the famous 2-item. Was it Cream? The famous 2-item at 40-minute Annie, which sucked. But right now, what is sucking is AL's base getting blasted apart. They just don't have damage. How is Aurora doing nothing? They go into the backside, mate, try and turn some of this around. The hero's entrance is interrupted. Tarzan needs to run away from Q, but just burns him out. Ocean Soul value too high, tank value too high. And WE just say, yeah, AL, you can come into us and then we'll burn you alive. We said they'd have to be wary of the hero's entrance, so they really weren't. And the snowball, the quiet early game, just leads into a fairly comfortable WE victory, all things said and done. Well, welcome back, folks. The early game power never really emerges. The Aurora with 3 kills, can't find kills. Monkey knocks away every attempted engage. The follow-up is then 10 miles away. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. And I go, look, for me, AL, poor objective setup. Monkey, phenomenal ult. And then one thing's got away from them. It just got a bit silly, didn't it, guys? Just got a bit silly. I'm now curious about the GG rookie. Let's have a look, shall we? I am curious. I feel like his Annie numbers have been pretty good. So he is 70% win rate. They just don't have this. They just don't have the numbers. What? That's really weird. Tournament LPL split 3. You just don't have the numbers. Oh. That's really weird. So he's normally down a little bit of gold. They just don't actually have the rest of the early game numbers. That's really weird. Okay, I guess it is LPL, so those numbers are hard to come by. Can't be that hard, can it? They got the numbers for everything else. Very weird. And mids have not been farming that well this year, interesting. Care with an abysmal 7.8 CS per minute, by the way. Oof. Angel's been farming well, but he's also in an area where things have been a bit easy. Best team in that space fairly significantly. There you go. Shanks. Just about under damaging a Galio. Oof. Hope hitting frontliners to no avail. How does Cube out damage a 3-kill Aurora by 10k though, by the way? Oh, Flandre, come on. I mean, that's just not buying Blighting Duel. I mean, don't get me wrong, got knocked away a lot. But I think Wukong need to go Black Cleaver, not Sundered Sky, probably. Then again, what are you Black Cleavering for? Maybe that's fine. But then basically, go Sundered Sky. I think it probably needs to be a Sterax. But then you run out of damage. But then do you need the damage? I don't know. Maybe just some more timed engages. I mean, rookie on average. Why are we unable to see any of this? We just can't. They're just not showing it for whatever reason. That's really weird. Okay. I mean, rookie is still like. I'm going to put this up there. He's still one of the best farming mids in the league. So. He's still doing fine in the early game. Yeah, he's still doing just fine in terms of farming and stuff. I don't think it's been that much of an issue. And in fairness, he's been doing a lot of plays around the map towards top and bot, which I'm kind of fine with. It feels like that's what a lot of mids in general are doing right now. Angel's the only one who's been focusing on laning, and he's in Nirvana. Sort of Knight. Yeah, like no mid, like there's like the only mid with an average CS above of 9 or more is Angel. Everyone else is below it. Saber is the second CS per minute mid in the league, which should tell you a lot about how the game is going right now. Yeah, Knight and Rookie are on very similar numbers for context. Part of that will be things like what champions they're playing. Like as we said, Annie often just wants to get involved on the map. Galio, again, often drops a bit of farm. It's because Saber is the GOAT. Yeah, I mean, how could I die to him? His 1v1s were good on Summoner's Rift. Let's see who MVP ends up being. I need to put on the League Mastery. Oh yeah, I need to do this one. Ah. Here's our MVP. Cube. Okay, you know what? Did a lot of damage. Yeah, okay. Some good comebacks around the Baron pit. I would have given it to Monkey, personally. Did get 9-0-10 on Rumble. Solid enough equalizers. Burned a lot of people in teamfight. In fairness, this fight was quite good from him. Ends up, like, blasting Hope. He was actually out of mana for this play as well. Oh, dear. Thought I was MVP. Wow. I just don't think he did all that much special here. This one was Flandre absolutely flubbing it. The damage number thing. In fairness, he did do a fair amount of the damage numbers. That's true. I just think Monkey was much more clutch in actually getting them the lead in the first place. So yeah, observers went for jungle. I would have gone for jungle. Alright, I ought to do the spiel thing and run some ads. So, hello folks, I'm Initialise. I'm a bit ill today, so I'm not on my best form. But we are bringing you the LPL here, live from Nymaera's Twitch channel, YouTube, and Onivia's YouTube as well. It's a pleasure to have you all in here and being awesome with us. If you want to support the channel, please do make sure to follow, like, subscribe on Twitch, on YouTube. And if you can, please do subscribe on Twitch with Twitch Prime or just regular subs. If you've got that capability, it does mean the world to us and our ability to keep doing what we're doing. Thank you to all those who do. 2 other ways to support us. Ko-fi link. You use Ko-fi, you can come and donate to us. That's channel agnostic. And 2, we are now part of League Mastery, which is a pretty significant option to come and support us, which is a really cool new platform being put together by Hedon, former LEC coach, to help teach people how to do the league thing. And me and Alex will be doing some casting guides on there. So for those of you who like esports and want to get into casting, it's a really good way to come learn more about how to do that one, as we're putting those together over the next month or so. Why am I being yelled at? Sad! And I'll do beautiful. Yes. Let me link these things. Come and support us, folks. If you can. It is much appreciated. Now I'm going to go get some more coffee. You missed a redeem, sir? Compliment for Harold. Thank you very much. Sorry, I'm a bit unwell. I'm not paying that much attention to chat at the minute. Awesome sources. Awesome. Right. So, Harold, compliment. You have a really good laugh, Harold. Like, it's a very infectious laugh. I enjoy joking around with you because you have actually got a proper belly laugh. That's great. I really enjoyed it. Don't lose the laugh, Harold. It's excellent. Lots of genuine glee in there. I just yelled. That's what I was like, what did I miss? I was like looking down here and I was like, I think I just refreshed the page, which kind of like didn't turn up properly. Right, let me go get a bit of fresh air and I'll be right back. Oh, blah.
AL 最近的比赛的话，就感觉他们找回了之前的状态吧，就感觉他们找回了第二赛的当时那种磨合的感觉嘛，然后就他们现在也比较很稳的运营嘛，然后就打上他们的话，我感觉就需要做的比他们更好。AL 的上单选手盛强哥的话，我感觉就是他是一个很团队的选手吧，然后他跟 AL 也很配合嘛，然后就我感觉对上他的话，就需要小心他跟所有人之间的联动吧。现在常规赛接近最后一场了嘛，然后这一场的话就放开打吧，然后骑士之路是抱着必胜的决心去赢下来吧。然后对我自己的要求的话，就是有时候自己打完团会忘记对兵线的理解吧，然后就要提醒自己每次打完团都要注意一下兵线吧。
Well, there's draft. Time to come sit down and get back into it, eh? Righty then. Let's budget to this one. Drop this away for a second or two. Oh. So, WE. Good game one in the end. It's very, very slow early game. But Monkey, fire game. Rumble still very strong. Bad things happened. The pocket ban still come on through. Monkey being double banned. Plus the Nico away from Vampire. Though in fairness, Vampire had a horrible Nico game just yesterday. Gwen's still up. Rumble's taken last game. Okay, Gwen. What do you got, Cube? Xin Zhao's the response for Monkey. We've already seen a very good Xin Zhao game today. We see what the angle is. Are we locking in alongside it? Aurora's down. Rumble's down. Jace for Cube. Right. You can trade quite aggressively with the Gwen. Jumping into the Hallow Mist, knocking away, run away from her as she tries to get in range with your E and your own phase rush actives. You can force her Hallowed Mist with your poke as well. Jarvan Talia. The pick combo is strong there. Ahri Xin Zhao, skirmishing as well. Ahri's not bad into Talia, even if Ahri in general right now isn't quite strong. But of course, Carrot is a big Ahri enjoyer. Again, WE, one of the issues we've had is effectively how narrow their champion pool often is in terms of what feels effective for them, particularly in the solo lanes. This might be the way forwards. Stag goes towards the Akali. Okay. Akali, able to trade well with Gwen. Get inside her Hallowed Mist. You can force her to be in some awkward positions. It was an old school counter-ish with things like the Rift Maker back in the day, but it's a lot of outplay. Carrot is a very big Akali enjoyer. Had a rough time on it yesterday. Got, I'm pretty sure that was the Rise matchup was into him. Was it him or Care who played it? Can't remember. Either way, it wasn't a lot of fun. Yeah, we saw Cream dismantling Akali just yesterday. That might have been Care, actually, thinking about it. Either way, my brain's a bit foggy. Still, the skirmishing very strong. The level 6 spike very strong. Jarvan does not have fun into Akali because you struggle to lock her down in a meaningful way and she kind of just blows you up. So you've got very strong skirmishing right now from WE. Not that it's not strong from WE or from AL either. If this Akali gets fed, life is good. If you don't, a bit shy on wave clearing. We've seen a lot less Jace of late. It feels like he's not easy to shut down than he once was. Lack of lanes was actually hurting. It's hard to hide him. Was pretty good at one point about playing those 1v2s and the safety from them and getting a lot of fun regardless. Lucian locked in. Okay. Lots of hands checking from WE now. Lots of mechanical power in these champions. If you are able to glide. Zyra Khan. It's a solid lane. I think AL have ended up with a bit of a a generalist draft here in some ways. Rakan is good with Jarvan. Easy to follow up. Taliyah's not bad as well. You can hop onto the Gwen. Basically, you battle dance to one of your dives and jump on there and get the quickness down. Xayah also then theoretically quite good into what is a lot of melee divers. Quickness can be quite annoying for Akali because you don't get to avoid it by going into Shroud. However, pretty much everyone here on AL's team is vulnerable to the Execute, is vulnerable to the culling, is vulnerable to a Fed Jace. AL, of course, when you're running the Shinzao, when you're running the even the Lucian, you're playing in Xayah active range. Unravel Earth can be really obnoxious. It's not like AL's draft is that bad in isolation. It's just, I might just be missing it. It might just be a bit unwell, to be fair. But I'm not quite sure what the specialty of this draft is. It feels like it's a bit of a jack of all trades draft. Mid jungle is strong. Do a lot of work there. Maybe that's the way forward. And Rakan, if he gets unleashed from lane, can join that, be a very good skirmishing core. But I'm looking at the other side and saying, actually, if you can glide with that, you can get a kill on the Akali, get a kill on the Lucian. Your ability to force summoners, use your mechanical options well, could get quite scary. It's a fairly high ceiling for WE's draft. They have just won game one, coming with some confidence. Lots of ability to threaten. They don't have the most engage, but they do have quite a lot of target access. Shinzao, very easy for him to dash in. Akali, 30 dashes in a kit. Lucian dashing forwards. Jace, again, very long range, can look to do that way. You don't necessarily need the CC if you can just consistently close the gap. It's the Neferi theory, right? However, doing so requires you to be mechanically performing very, very well. We are onto the Rift, though. Jayo's next. We'll keep having that conversation after. Oh, I've still kept League Mastery on. Let me go turn that off briefly. Go join League Mastery. Use our code. It's awesome. Not a lot to be seen here at the moment in this early game. Cube, decent chunk onto Flandre, who... I mean, I'm not going to lie. I think Flandre was in a position to absolutely break open that last game. And failed to do so. Quite sure how. They'll get engaged and they're also happy. Yeah, true enough. It's been concerning if things have already broken open. Who knows? Is PTA Shin unknown tech? Oh, you're right. It's not Conqueror. Okay, so what this does is it sets up for the burst from everyone else. Because what WE are saying is, we don't get the luxury of extended fights. Not this game. We're wanting to hit them with all of our damage really fast and blast people. And PTA helps that because it exposes someone to more damage. You've got double PTA between Taeyoon and Monkey. Whoever gets hit by the PTA gets blasted by Shot Blast and perfect execution and dies. Because they're basically playing for burst, and your CC is death this game. Your CC is target access into death. Flandre eats a lot of damage here. I think the Cube might have him. Forces the flash. Tarzan's now here. probably does need to reset. Monkey's also here. Lands another shot blast. Does have flash to work with. Monkey now turns up. It's going to threaten a turnaround here. Then becomes lightning lands. Force a flag and drag away from Tarzan. Now Flandre's in an awful position because he couldn't get the wave crash. Tarzan turned up to try and save it. Can't. Tarzan's going to have to reset, try to get towards that bot side. Scuttle Crab bot side. Taeyun trading out Vel with Vampire and Hope. Hope so low. Taeyun running out of options. No flash to work with, but still alive. Can't flash for the kill. And now Taeyun trying to survive, stay away from Kyle, who's trying to hop back. Doesn't find the angle. Finally finds a grand entrance. It's both supports the ones who pick up the kills. Important they did get the kill on Taeyun there. Well, it could have been worse than it was. Ends up being much of a muchness. Cube now actually in quite a lot of danger as Tarzan has actually not reset. Cube does have the flash and the thundering blow. Should be able to get the knockaway on Tarzan, but can't get the wave shoved. Tarzan holds the wave in place. Cube has to back away. The lasers reset, but Taeyun and Vampire already on the reset should be here. Flandre trading with Monkey, who was looking to steal away some Krugs as a result of Tarzan's delayed reset. It's forced off them a little by Flandre, but Cube is now TP'd bot side. Worth noting that Flandre held on to his. I don't know whether Cube needed to TP there, honestly. Maybe he was a bit worried about Flandre continuing to chase on to Monkey. Yeah, I think you could have held on to your TP there. Wants to try and extend the lead while he can. Potential dive angle, but Hope gets a deadly plumage rolling. Backs away. Tarzan now looking at Cube to the skies, knock away with a thundering blow. Tarzan looking for a flag and a drag, won't quite find it till just then. I thought he'd managed to sidestep it for Cube. No, couldn't quite do it. Will be forced to burn the flash. Taeyun exhausted. Actually, that's not a bad angle. Can they find anything more here? Not really. Is the answer? Karis is just doing his best to trade out. And actually, he's very ahead of this Talia. Shanks, what is going on there? Has not just TP'd back either. Good trading by the looks, but he should be able to pick up a bit of that wave. The Karis on this invade with Monkey. Hang on, I think Tarzan needs to be really wary here with Shanks. This could get very messy indeed. Oh boy, flash forward with the 3 Talon Strike knockup. Shanks now in danger. Flashes over the wall. Flash over from Karis. Public execution. Comes on through, still got an R2 to work with. Slides away with the Shuriken flip. Goes back in on top of Flandre. Heal is good. Cataclysm comes on down. Tarzan surviving for a second or two. The Featherstorm, good. But they will still lose out some more. The Feather's not in a great position. Karis, dodge, dip, duck, diving. And trying to claim some more kills. Run out of cooldowns is the problem. Taeyun not here. On the other side, the flag and drag, of course, dead. And it's the Shuriken flip that will get out Karis to safety. Well, that was a mess. WE do end up getting the feat of strength from that one. It looked really, really good for them for a second or two. And it all kind of gets a bit awry. So Zaya's going to change her pathing now. Was going topside to match the Lucian. Is going to come over and start the skirmish. Shanks, flash over the wall, will still die as Karis flashes in and executes. And then Tarzan looks dead to rights. The knock-up is good. Vampire tries to go to the flash. Zenith Blade, but Tarzan manages to flash away and re-engage. Blows up Monkey, which is important. And then they sort of end up in this effective 3v4 because Taeyun isn't here. Back to live we go, and Taeyun's just died. How did he get picked off? Weaver's Wall, by the looks of it, from Shanks. Gets a kill onto the Lucian. And Tarzan's going to pick up Grubs all the while. Nice work from AL. Taeyun now dead for the second time this game. That's unfortunate. We'll still be dragging, I think, 4 WE. Losing Taeyun there. I didn't see how that happened. But here we go. We'll get the replay here. It's just... So Taeyun walks up, tries to jump onto Hope. Goes too far. Yeah, doesn't get a great angle for the culling. And then Battle Dance flashed over from Taeyun. Oh, man. So close. It's very good from Kyle to come and defend that. Extended Battle Dance range, but Taeyun goes for the 1v1. Can't quite win in the 1v2. Runs out of damage and ends up dying for it. Did flash over the Battle Dance and probably had to. He was definitely dead. The moment you committed that far, it was kind of done. T1 under a little threat there in the mid lane, by which I mean tier 1 turret, not the LCK team, for context. Monkey might just find Kyle here. He's going to battle dance over the wall. Yeah, I think he might be in danger here though. That is very far, Kyle. Monkey gets it now. Tarzan's flagged and dragged forwards. They're TPing in as well. Hopes to run trade well. Gets a good chunk onto Taeyun. Culling back is not great because there is no attack speed on Taeyun right now, so kind of just throws out some shots lackadaisically. Good work from Hope to release chunk onto Taeyun, but yeah, that kill onto Kyle. A little bit awkward, thought he was safer than he was on the Rakan. Burns flash, and whether he had to heal up, I think he's just switched on summon a spellbook, so it would have been a little different there. I do apologise. Monkey clears out the wave. That was not great for Kyle, has to be said. He's had a pretty good game on the whole. Shanks, actually, wait, I thought it was gonna nothing! It's not! Shuriken Flippers killer! Shanks has a horror story in the top lane. Target access was good for WE, we said. CC less sight. So the access you had has to be lethal. Now over towards the red buff we go. How will this one go as exhaust come on down? Crescent guard from Monkey. Kyle left. Low HP. Tarzan goes looking for the Cataclysm. Does find it. But what about the turnaround? Monkey flashes out. Damage onto Vampire, though, who is low. Trying to get damage is Taeyun with the Piercing Light. TP in from Shanks, who's respawned. Monkey now in danger. And Karis can't join. Shanks, despite the misery topside, respawns, rejoins for the teleport. Ends up finding some kills regardless. Monkey and Vampire traded out there for not a lot. We've got Harold in 145. Cam Dragon in a minute. in a very scrappy game. I'll have a look at this again, because it starts, I think, with Shanks wanting to get to this wave so badly, and Karis punishes sublimely. Flash means nothing. Tried to flash the R2, doesn't. Rocket Bell R1E. Beautiful. Shanks not going to be laning against Karis anymore. I'm going to send Flandre up there and say, yeah, you can do all this, guy. I've had enough. Solar Flare. Zenith Blade. Shanks is dead. Shanks is dead. Ooh, dear. Cal's coming on down. I don't know how much he wants this. With Hope behind it, maybe could have been something, but Shanks is really struggling now. Really struggling now. Dragons up. WE in the river. Again, AL with awkward objective setup. Forced out of the river. And AL have to retake the site. Steal some FPS terminology. TP into the back of the pit. Weaver's Wall splits the squad. Vampire now split off in particular. Quickness on top of him. Dragon secured though by Monkey. In the backside goes Karis. Looking to get some value here with the R2. Can look to try and get on out. Still got that ability to jump onto someone. Lands another Shuriken flip. Kyle in danger. Blown up. The backline though. Flandre just snips him down. Monkey can't quite get more than one. Hope still surviving. And Hope is free firing. Tarzan survives. Flandre survives. And what looked great for a second there for WE swiftly turns around as Hope gets to keep firing and Flandre gets to keep snipping. It's who took the damage that became the problem. And now the Gwen is online. You end up in this position where if you don't kill her, then you don't get the rest of the team down. Well, what about Hope? And what about rest of the squad? If you're having to spend so many resources to kill one member, you've got a great amount of burst. The extended fights get tricky. Vampire being split off and largely taken low is a big deal as Flandre's TP in the back bit became very useful. Karis here bought so much time. I genuinely thought the Sakali was about to blow one up. Goes in, gets Cataclysm, needlework, dies. Monkey at the very least does get Shanks, but can't get Hope for the life of him. And Taeyun flash to get the knock-up. I was wondering how Taeyun ended up so low. Couldn't get the last double tap off. And Taeyun at 0 and 3. It's potentially an issue in its own right. Shanks, though, I think might be dead. Does a lot of damage onto Cube, though. He's taking a turret shot, but it doesn't matter. Okay, Shanks is 2 and 5 now. We'll lose this turret as well. Can't quite take Cube with him. I appreciate the effort, Shanks. But life will still be hard for you in a solo lane forever and ever. Karis gets the turret topside as well. The skirmishes for WE, great. The team fight's a little harder. Are up a fair amount of gold, but towards his Herald we look. I think it's going to be too late. Can they find a fight afterwards? They found Flandre. Solar Flare will land. And that's Tarzan likely dead. Good Shuriken flip away. The Cataclysm comes on down. Buys time for the rest of AL to disengage. Does force an awkward reset towards mid lane from Kyle and Hope. Karis will help clear up some of these wards. And worth noting, W have got 2 dragons already. So they're not even forced to fight over these dragons, necessarily. And the map getting wider for them is good news. Hang on, quickness. Oh, boy. This gets interesting. Double knockup. Karis can look to get over the wall with the Shuriken Flip, but I think Vampire will likely die for this. Over comes Tayu looking to get on the Shanks. Shuriken Flip back in. Oh, one out. Can still look to R2 across someone. Hope goes up into the sky, flash forwards and to the skies, and the backline with the perfect execution. Karis outplays. There and back again. A ninja story by Karis for WE. Never has there been a more dangerous or lethal hokey pokey. Oh, what a replay. So they see them reset. You're like, right, we can get on top of this. The double knock-up and the double charm. You're thinking, oh no, Karis. Oh, Vampire. And then Karis slides away, lands the Shuriken Flip, and Taeyun goes, right, we can have this. Times the Unraveled Earth perfectly, gets that kill. R1, Protobelt away. Hope has to immediately go to the Featherstorm and gets blasted. Shuriken Flip, and Flandre flashes away. Karis can't quite wait on the 5-point strike. Back to life we go as Flandre skips and slashes away from the Shuriken Flipper. I think he would have died as well. Oh, Karis, such an inconsistent player, but when he's on, oh, it's something, isn't it? 40 CS up now, 2.3k. It looked like AL were coming back in these team fights. But Shanks at 2 and 6 is struggling. I thought Taeyun at 0, 3 and 3 was going to be a problem. He's managed to find his own way back in. Hope it. The only person with a gold lead, 2 items. Maybe that'll work. Again, you still got the Gwen. Once you get the Nash's 2, you still can be such a problem. I just don't know how freely you'll get there. "15 seconds on Dragon Monkey hiding around the corner." Shanks, understandably afraid to step forwards. Karis a level up. Flandre could snip with the Hallowed Mist there. Stops the trade back. W with a slight edge to win. Not as much as you might think here. That'll be a compositional difference, I suspect. Herald now mid lane. Taeyun will be sent to claim it. Does get the charge off, not the turret. Down about 5% HP. Would die to a wave of free access. Shuriken Flip onto Monkey. Doesn't lead to too much more than a bit of a chunk. Dragon started. WE again in control of the river. AL have been all about these retakes and have not done them very well. Kyle also been chunked out. The shock blasts from Q beginning to really sting here as well. TP in from Flandre. TP in from Shanks. Off from Shanks from Karis. Kyle down to a third. Another shock blast lands. Only 591 damage, but it's all been into Kyle's face. And he has not enjoyed that experience. Mid lane turret will fall for the soul point. TP back towards mid lane. They really want to push for tier 2 potentially. But remember, Atakan is up. Okay, WE. This gets a bit more interesting. Vampire's going to step forwards. Dragon secure. Karis now looking to come through mid. Staying off vision as it stands. Shuriken Flip up and available. Vampire low. Solar Flare gets the slow. Karis looking to get to the backside. The Crescent Guard down. Exhausted as Karis. But a good Twilight Shroud denies any follow-up. Now can look to get to the backside. Shuriken Flip is wide. Flashes away from AL. Fair. The pull is good. Hope needs to be very wary. Karis still got an R2 to work with. Can't find it. Shuriken Flip lands. I don't think he wants it onto Tarzan. But that's a lot blown. On both sides, and Flandre is dead. And Atakan is alive. And the river is very much in WE's favor right now. Towards the Atakan we look. Vampire has to flash away. Cube with the empowered shock blast. Cube in the Cataclysm, though, will likely go down. Atakan down to 3k HP. Tarzan jumping on Vampire, but Taeyun jumps on the backline with Karis. Takes out Shanks and Hope. Assassins, masters of spreading despair. A piercing light, and Tarzan tries desperately, but he gets a little too close to the sun. Homo Fuge. Flown too close to the sun, and Icarus has no more wings. in the face of Leona's CC. Wow. So Tarzan jumps on Cube and think, well, maybe we can just jump him up, but Kyle can't find the knock-up. Cube finds the one piece of space where he's not genuinely threatened. And the problem is, you're thinking, okay, Atakar not quite rushed. They jump onto Vampire, but then Monkey does the same. On to Hope. Karis gets there as well. Oh, dear. Quickness, trying to jump onto Cube. Remember, he has flash, but I don't think it'll matter all that much. He's just dead. Okay. Pickup needed. Required, really. Flandre takes that turret. And something back for AL, but again, AL look all sorts of lost. We weren't certain on the drafting priorities here. What were AL supposed to do this game? And part of it is Shanks being so far behind. You get the high priority Talir, you lock it in with a Jarvan and a Rakan, you go, okay, we can skirmish. And then Karis just breaks their ankles in a side lane. Titanic Hydra Black Cleaver build from Monkey, by the way, with PTA. It is raw burst. They know their window to kill people in this game is very narrow. And they have put everything into it. Correct build, I think. Wind becomes lightning, audacious charge, auto, active auto. We Talon Strike if you can get it in there somewhere. $50 seconds till Soul. Baron is up. WE. Well, they got the right of it, haven't they? Got 3 items on Hope. Maybe that's your way back in. Black Cleaver for Lucian, by the way. Bit more HP. I've not seen Black Cleaver on Lucian in a long time. Huh. Could not comment on whether that's a good buy or not. Carrots. Twilight Shroud. Look up potentially at Flandre. Gets a lot of damage. Shuriken Flip goes wide. I think Karis might be in danger. Has to flash. Still got an R2 to work with. Carver gets some value. Rocket Belt away. Still a set of needles to work with. Double Shuriken Flip. Flex away the other way. Goes Golden. R2 and a Shuriken Flip to work with. I think they might have killed off Karis, but it'll come and cost. He buys so much time and 2 members die. Taeyu beginning to dash away with a relentless pursuit. Gets the culling down. Hope survive, but again, you killed off Karis at the cost of 3. And you've got no smite, no top, no mid. And Ocean Soul is on the cards. Kyle has got Spellbook, could maybe switch towards a smite. Maybe that's the way. Into the backline we go. The knock up with the Black Cleaver, the Talon, the Titanic Hydra, and the 3 Talon Strike. Ensure that Hope falls as well. Monkey just about survives. Towards the Ocean Soul we go. And a last desperate 2v5 at the Alamo. Will still be AL falling by the wayside. WE might just pick their 3rd series win up of the split against anyone's Legends. Look how long it takes to kill Karis. They keep chasing him. Rocket Belt away. Needles missed. Needles dodged away from. Shuriken Flip away into the Zhonyas. Oh my days, they're lucky he managed to do much more than that, because actually the Shuriken Flip landed and Tarzan took what remained of his health bar practically, and Taeyu then of the 1v2 by so much space. Baron we go. All right, AL, can you steal this one away? Maybe that's your way back in. Karis on a flank angle. Dangerous, dangerous. Shock blast on Flandre. Backline. Karis in the 1v5. Takes out Shanks. The execution, as they say, is perfect. He's still on the flank. He can come back and do it again. Maybe not with the ultimate. He's got an Ocean Soul. The health bar just keeps ticking back up. 8k HP. He's found Tarzan. 5-point strike. Shuriken flip onto Hope, onto Hope, onto Hope. Twilight Shroud. They keep fighting more. The knives keep flying. And Karis keeps quite happily throwing them. Kunai for days. And the Baron falls. That mid lane tier 1 has been standing for nearly 30 minutes. Not any longer. Baron secured. 10, 2, and 5 is Karis. Where has this player been all split? He's always been an Akali player, but he's playing with some rare verve today. Threatens Tarzan. And lands the Shuriken flip on Hope! Not Tarzan! Oh, good grief. Back to live we go. The violence continues. Kyle gets a quickness down. The heal comes in, but Karis is here. Monkey gets one with a Titanic Hydra burst. Flandre trading out with Cube, but that means he's not threatening the rest of the team fight. And Cube dodges the last of the needles. Flandre has been a passenger this series. He's 4 kills deep, and yet somehow doesn't feel like it, does it? 3 and 10 for Shanks. Abysmal stuff. The Nexus turrets are WE's eyes. And anyone's legends blink down going 8 and 6 as WE. A team who could only ever find a single win in series, it felt like. Bring down the spring champions. Their 3rd win of summer. And it is dominant, commanding, stylish. Perfectly executed. Our LPL never change. The more you think you know this region, the less you do. In another world, that will be our final regular season game, that. Of course, tomorrow we've got the games that were postponed due to typhoons. WE. So Weibo Gaming versus JDG, which was an awful game. First series up this morning. Hoping for something a little bit better tomorrow. Day after, or not day after, series after that was BLG versus IG, which is absolutely delicious. A fight for second, especially now AL blinked and kind of got slapped there. 2-0 for WE. We had questions about draft. We had questions about execution. And after WE's horrific showing yesterday, Vampire's Nico was appalling. They come back in today and play with real style. And those were not easy compositions. That second game in particular, you were all hands that game. You had to be. Right. There's a couple links I need you to have a look at, folks. Specifically, Kofi. Specifically, League Mastery. Speaking of League Mastery, might put that on as well. I'm Initialise. It's been a pleasure having you all here today. Thank you for coming and enjoying the LPL here with us on Nymaera's channel here on Twitch, on YouTube, and of course, the Nivea's YouTube as well. Thank you very much, all of you back home who have been enjoying this. It is an absolute pleasure and honor to have you all in here and choosing us as your platform of choice. If you have not done so already, please do follow myself and Alex at Initialise Casts, at Nymaera on our various socials and Twitch and YouTube. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff. Statistically, if I don't say it, you don't do it. So go do it. Number 2, if you would like to, please do consider subscribing to the Twitch channel. Helps us get jobs, helps us get sponsored, helps us get promotions. All of those things matter to help us keep doing what we're doing and keep bringing you this. We do this as our full-time job. That means we are reliant on all of you back home to keep supporting us if you have that capability to do it. So please, please, please do make sure if you've got a Twitch Prime, because drop it here. If you've got the extra £5, please drop it here. If you're able to gift some, we have had some wonderful gifters over the last few months and years. Please do continue to keep doing that. It means a massive amount to myself and Alex and our ability to keep doing this. Obviously, we're splitting those proceeds between 2 people as well. So it is all kind of a bit of a muchness there in that sense as well. On top of that, if you're not on Twitch and still want to support us, you can absolutely use the Ko-fi link to come and look after us that way. That is channel agnostic. Please can donate to that one and it comes straight to our bank accounts, which is wonderful. Thank you very much. For those of you who do. And finally, speaking of sponsors, we are officially partners for League Mastery, which you can see down here. It is a new platform which will be helping you learn all about how to climb, how to be a better League of Legends player. There's some amazing content creators and One-Tricks teaching all of their champions and all of their know-how. It's headed up by Hedon, who of course is an LEC coach, is teaching you basically how the hell you go about improving, how the hell you go about coaching yourself and becoming a better player, which I think is really, really cool and valuable stuff. And of course, for myself and Alex, we're doing some casting stuff for you. So if you want to learn how to be casters, and watch those videos that we're making for you over there as well. It should be really, really awesome stuff about how to get better at casting. Should be a really valuable resource for those of you who do sign up. Please use our link below to get involved with doing that. Thank you all for those of you who do. May I unglue quickly? That'd be great. Thank you, Mecca. Copy that across as well. Oh, 2 MVPs, and then I think we'll end the stream there. I was debating streaming myself, but I think I'm just not well enough, unfortunately. Oh. Yeah, like, the Cubatch had a very good day today, especially after he was abysmal yesterday. And Karis as well, as the player who's been so up and down. Did not have a great time yesterday. Today, that Akali game was spot on. Spot on. I think we all know who MVP is going to be. We do. Realistically, guys, it's going to be, if I had to guess, Karis, which I know will be a shock to you all. Twelve, 2, and 6. 5k up. The damage percentage is not even going to be that high because basically everybody hit blew up. He had a Jace on his team as well, which will inflate those numbers quite a lot. But there we go. What a shock. What a shock. All right, with that, guys, YouTube, we're going to say goodbye. Thank you very much for coming and hanging out with us. We'll see you all tomorrow for the final day of regular season games. Be here or be uncool. You don't want to be that. That would be bad. Till then, guys.